Do remember that you can engage in live. The call line is down there at the bottom of your screen. Call in live and tell us exactly what you think concerning the topics that we're going to be discussing. And the SMS line is 22047 220447. Mitandaoni at on social media at TV47KE on Twitter and on Facebook as well. Do remember it is the agenda of the youth, by the youth, and driven as the youth would benefit. All right. The conversation around coronavirus hasn't stopped, and the panic as well, what we have been calling kiwewe in Kiswahili, also, keeps rising globally. It's a global pandemic as we speak. However, on the page 8 of the 8th page of the MPs or members of parliament now demand update on the 239 passengers who are ordered to self-quarantine. Peter, up to yesterday, we do know that the gentleman who took the video from the airport is actually on suspension, because this would have happened silently or quietly without Kenyans really getting to know what was happening. And well, now we have more Chinese in the country on self-quarantine and things like that. Up to right now, how we are handling coronavirus, the isolation resources that have been spoken about, what do you make of it?
I think for me, the other day we saw what the president said, and he took some measures to protect us as Kenyans. Mm-hmm. And I think the action of Mr. Ali, that worker of Kenya Airways, was a very good move, because he's a patriotic Kenyan, because he took that initiative to protect all of us as Kenyans. Mm-hmm. And that's why he decided he cannot just keep quiet. And what was going on in the airport, it was just a matter of all Kenyans. So for me, I think even yesterday we saw that the court reinstated him to his work. And it was a very good move, because Ali decided to question Kenyans about the arrival of those Chinese from China with that southern airplane. So for me, I think it's a very good move. Right. And I think our government has taken another initiative of setting aside the Bagathi Hospital, and even the task force that was formed by the president, led by our current CS of Minister of Health, Mr. Mutahi Kagwe. So I think it's a very good move, and we are ready.
You think we are ready?
Yeah, we are very ready.
All right. Ben Ngetich, do you agree? Are we ready as a country? Because now we are seeing an influx of foreigners definitely into the country. Are we ready in case this pandemic gets to reach us as a country?
Corazon, we are not really ready per se, but I think the measures that have been put in place is quite impressive. But if you look at the other countries, you can see that most of these flights coming from China was banned. But here in Kenya, we allowed the flights from China to come to Kenya. But I'm happy to say that no single victim has been reported here in Kenya. And I think we as Kenyans, even the president and the CS for health, has stated clearly that there is a hospital here in Bagathi whereby they were doing it. It was actually being said that it will be completed in a span of a week, so that in case of any emergencies, we'll have some victims that can be isolated, and then everything will be in place. So at the moment, I think the government is taking good care of its citizens, and we are taking a lot of measures to ensure that Kenyans
all right, thank you very much, Ngetich. Daktari, 239 passengers and now members of parliament are demanding an update. This is a conversation that Kenyans were having in the past, questioning first of all the reason why as a country we have allowed foreigners who are from an area that has a high level of infection into our country. Is an update enough to get us to a point where we feel it would be safe to accommodate or to have more of these foreigners in the country?
First of all, the guy who took the video,
yes,
according to me and according to Parliament, is a hero. And he actually saved many Kenyans, because then we don't know how many airlines from the so-called affected areas will have landed within a span of another 1 week if he did not raise that alarm.
Yes,
we thank him as a whistleblower because he did right. And we thank the courts for making sure that he's back to his official duties, so that he's not victimized by our incapacity to deal with international disasters like this one that we are facing. And as a country, the president is very committed, and that is why there was that executive order, which made sure that we have at least an isolation hospital, and not only in Mbagathi, in Nairobi, but also in every county referral hospital. That is a move to the right direction, which the president have taken as an initiative by himself. I'm sure even other heads of state in other countries may not have taken that initiative. They have left such an initiative to lower cadre officials of their government, mostly the ministers and sometimes even principal secretaries. But it is our president who have taken that particular initiative to safeguard Kenyan. It is only a few elements in the government that are letting us down, because some of these elements, especially cabinet secretary, sometimes because they are not elected, they pretend to be diplomats. Most of them are not in touch with the real mwananchi, and they think their work is kind of choreographed in a specific manner because they are diplomat. And that is why we actually, for us, a proposal in BBI is that let cabinet secretaries be members of parliament. They have touch with the wananchi. They represent people. You know, when you just sit in an office and you really lose touch with the wananchi, and that is why even a whole minister of transport can allow somebody to be suspended for raising an alarm, for letting Kenya know that they are at risk because 239 passengers from high-risk area have entered the country, so that Kenyans can be able to protect themselves if the government cannot be able to protect. Because it is funny how the government find it very risky to bring back our students who are suffering in Wuhan, and find it easy to allow passengers from the same region to enter the country.
All right.
Sympathetic.
In some cases, actually, other people who decided to look at it from another angle said because it was illegal, and the foundation for the suspension was that he actually broke a law. But again, Mheshimiwa, up to this point, with the number that is already in the country, number of people who came from highly infected regions in the country, why haven't we seen measures like maybe free face masks and awareness, highly charged sessions of awareness going on in the country? Because isn't it possible that self-quarantine might not be sufficient?
That is what we are saying. And when you say that the fellow had broken the law, which law? You know, of course they may be having their own policies and so on, but I sit in parliament. We make laws. That guy have not broken any act of parliament or any law. Their policies notwithstanding. This is an international emergency. Everybody is scared. It's not a national emergency. It's not a national disaster. It is an international disaster. Anybody who can give us information. That is why you are asking me, why is no creation of awareness? That was one way of creating awareness by that guy, that 239 fellows have entered this country, and they are from the high-risk area.
No wonder he had his day in court, yes.
Yes, to me I find it as he is a hero. Yeah, he's a whistleblower who have saved so many Kenyans, because then they will have allowed more Chinese aeroplanes to enter the country. But because of that single act of heroism, he have prevented, and that is why the court decided that they will suspend all aeroplanes entering Kenya. So he did a good thing. And as a country, surely sometimes these laws are made by human beings. Those little policies they make in Kenya Airways and Kenya Airport Authorities.
Yes.
Those are little policies which can be amended, can be broken, can be re-amended, you know.
Of which you're insinuating laws can be broken, which might not be right. But
I'm not insinuating laws can be broken. I'm insinuating that they can be amended.
All right, to be suitable. How about the awareness? I mean, right now with the influx, because 239 plus more that maybe we do not know is a huge number. Self-quarantine might not be fully sufficient. Why do we not have a face mask for free? Why are we not seeing highly charged awareness on the streets of the country?
There is no single case.
Yes.
that have been tested positive in,
and that's because
in Kenya.
That's because probably they're within
Safan,
quarantine.
thank you so much, because you are creating awareness. You know, you are creating a lot of awareness. Because the initiative to protect ourselves begin from me and you, and that is why this panel is sitting here, and all of them are discussing coronavirus from a point of no. Yes, so already we are actually creating awareness, and I'm sure other media houses are doing. The social media is doing. That guy have done our which type of awareness?
No, but Dr. the question actually is how sufficient is self-quarantine? How do you trust human beings that much with such a critical element?
That's why I told you
a disease is
this self-quarantine was done by a CS who is a diplomat. And that is why I told you they don't have touch with human beings. They don't represent anybody anyway. They are just in office courtesy of an appointment by one single individual. They are only answerable to State House. They are not answerable to Kenyans. And that is why they can say anything. Because surely, self-quarantine in an international disaster, in a disease that is so contagious. You know, to me, that was just a joke from that particular CS. I think he did not know what he was talking. Let us forgive him.
Ben Getich, I'll come to you again for the same. I know Dr. has offered it quite a bit. What, do you not think that the period of self-quarantine actually should be around 2 weeks, and we still cannot be able to certainly deduce whether we have an infection or not? And can we trust self-quarantine enough, or shouldn't we have measures already out there just in case we turn out to have a case?
Thank you, Corazon. First of all, Kenyans are not even aware of what self-quarantine is. And I'll concur fully with Mheshimiwa here that we will forgive the CS for saying such statements, because it's demeaning, it's even, we cannot even know what Kenyans should even say, because the issues of, let's start first of all, look from the perspective whereby the suspension of the airways employee, who is Gire or Gira.
Yes, Gire.
It was we must look for a way whereby Kenyans must get information that is true and information that can safeguard their livelihoods, because you cannot come to the public domain and ask Kenyans to exercise the self-quarantine. We first of all need to educate people, to educate the Kenyans, so that they become aware. And as Mheshimiwa has said it, or has put it clearly, that what we are doing now is we are really trying to make Kenyans aware of what is going on. And this thing is, I think it will come to pass, and we are now happy that we've seen the government has put its effort to ensure that in case of any case is reported somewhere, there is a place whereby a Kenyan can be isolated and been taken care of. And that is an initiative whereby all the Kenyans will be safeguarded.
All right. Okay. Peter Keroke, I don't know if you have anything to say about this. It's been exhausted. The Chinese in self-quarantine, Kenyans apparently are still safe. And we've had statements thrown about like there's no African who has died yet, you know, which we have called careless for the reason why, for reasons that are definitely medical. What do you have to say about this? Finally, let's move to another thing.
For me, I think the only problem is the government has not took an initiative in creating self-awareness to the Kenyans. Because you cannot tell me the government, the CS is talking about the self-quarantine. And again, so many Kenyans are not aware of what coronavirus is. They are not aware of the science of coronavirus. Therefore, I think the government should take that initiative of creating awareness to the Kenyans, so that they may be ready. In case of anything, we may be ready. Because even I was telling Mheshimiwa that coronavirus cannot kill Africans. Why? Because of the climate change. Because
is that medically proven?
But it can.
No, I was making a joke with him.
All right.
But for me, I think the government has to do something in creating self-awareness to Kenyans.
All right. And
yes. You cannot make jokes with a serious thing like that one. Nimesikia ukizama ati sisi wa Afrika tuko very hardy. Hii ni homa. Sisi wa Afrika tunasumbuliwa na ugonjwa mzito kama HIV.
Daktari, you also mentioned. Daktari hata umetaja hii ni homa. Sijui kama mnaiangalia kama fever.
It's not proven.
Exactly.
It's not proven that it does not kill Africans.
Yeah, but it's a killer. It's a killer.
I think the conversation has been normalized to the extent now it's become a joke, because now we have memes on social media about coronavirus, and that's why Dr. was asking, why hasn't the government taken highly charged awareness programs and sessions? Because if it is normalized, it's going to be a joke.
If the president himself is in the center of it, who else do you want? Do you want Jesus Christ to know that the government has taken it seriously?
Clearly, even
the head of state.
Even from the two gentlemen, clearly, this conversation has been normalized to the extent it is just a conversation. Not so many people really understand. Unaona hii joke ambaye amecrack. Watu wengi sana wanasema hivyo.
Ati Afrika wanasumbuliwa na ugonjwa mzito.
Hii ni homa.
Kama hizo ati hii ni homa.
In fact, there are some clips, kuna clips in social media whereby you find somebody saying this is coronavirus, this one is what was it, all these that are trending. So we cannot make jokes.
No, but the president himself is in the center of it.
All right.
Cabinet secretary have been ordered. We have a task force made up of cabinet secretaries and medical doctors to make sure that they safeguard. We have put resources. That is why there is Mbagathi as an isolation unit. There is also in every 47 counties that every county referral hospital there will be an isolation unit. We have taken it seriously. If we did not take it seriously, we'll have just stayed Mbagathi. But these Chinese will come and go to Turkana and probably infect people.
No, the seriousness may be at the decision-making level, as you have said.
Yes.
But then again, what about at the ground level? Because in the end, it is the Mwananchi who is a driver who is going to be sneezing next to Mwananchi who is a mama mboga. If she does not understand that that endangers her life, then whatever decision has been made at the top, and if she does not also understand that that is a symptom,
Safan, we are saying
she's endangered.
At the top.
Yes.
The toppest office in this land is the president.
Right.
We have taken it seriously. We are saying at the ground level. You and me are on the ground level. We are now creating awareness. So where do
the reality of the matter, and actually I believe that this is a reality. Mama mboga in the market right now might be offloading her goods from Gikomba.
Yes.
She might not be watching television,
But the radio is there.
The radio is there. But if she's not listening or she's not depending on the media, why have we not seen some ground footwork?
So
reaching out to Wananchi, experts talking and telling them this and this are the symptoms in case you experience it. Because next time, somebody is going to be experiencing symptoms without knowing.
We have 20,000 medical personnel in this country. Now you want them to go to every individual, wakae chini ya miti, waambie sasa wewe kuna kitu inaitwa coronavirus.
No, but it doesn't have it doesn't have to involve it doesn't have to really involve purely the doctors. You have public health offices, you have foundations and organizations that take up these roles. They can be involved.
There is a media of communication, a means of communication. One of them is the radio, two audio visual, like this one we are in, printed media, and they are all out. And creating awareness.
And then we also should not assume that those who will not reach the audiovisuals and are not literate enough to experience the information.
That's why there is vernacular FM stations. Radio stations.
You cannot entirely do away with the fact that we need footwork. We need people in Gikomba actually speaking to these people. But there is another conversation that is going on right now. It has highly been politicized and it's becoming more like a cliche. But I believe it is important because the moment now we have BBI meeting.
Safan, before we get out of there, do you know the distance in which the voice can travel? We have to have footwork.
The footwork, yes.
Yes. The distance that the voice without any machine can travel is approximately 100 feet. That is 30-something meters. And then if you talk of 30-something meters, then this country is made up of 140 million hectares of land.
You can use other resources that will Vipaza Sauti, for instance. You can reach very many people. I mean, there are very many ways.
Vipaza Sauti ni radio.
We've seen caravans. Have you not seen caravans where, for instance, when the leaders are campaigning, you have them on lorries and, they have open air markets, music systems, people talking about campaigns.
The caravans will go to Kikomba.
Let them go.
But there is somebody in Mpeketoni and there is a pastoralist who is looking after his cows. 20 kilometers deep in the forest.
Do they not reach them? Do you people not reach them during the campaign? Why not reach them right now? Because now this is a global pandemic and it's actually a disaster.
We'll try.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, let us take a break. But when we come back, the reason why the BBI conversation right now is an important conversation, gentlemen, and I believe it is because now meetings are being called off because there's violence being sensed within these meetings. For instance, the meetings that were supposed to take place in Rift Valley have been pushed forward because of the violent conversations that are going on. And BBI, Building Bridges Initiative, was supposed to bring inclusivity. And if you read within it, there's a lot of ethics embedded within the whole conversation. It's supposed to be something that reconciles the country. When now we have meetings being called off because of violence, then what does that mean?
There's no violence.
Well, they have said that apparently they fear of violence.
They are lying because it is God who is stopping reggae. Because reggae is Rastafarians worshipping of Haile Selassie, and worshipping of idols. So God himself is stopping this reggae.
All right. Do not go away. We are coming right back to look at exactly what does it mean when there is fear of violence within the push for the BBI report. The SMS line is 22047 and online at TV47KE. You're watching TV47 Breakfast. It's hashtag TV47 Breakfast. We're coming back before too long. Do not go too far.
Which I'm certain for what is a...
For half price. 30 million US. $30 million from me. What do you want?
Get on your knees! You have 3 seconds to comply. 1, 2, 3.
If you wanted me, bro.
Kila siku ya Jumapili tunakurausha, tunakuchangamsha kwa mziki unaokusisimua na kukukuza kiroho. Tunaangazia wasanii mbalimbali wanaochipuka ili mradi kukufahamisha wewe. Na pia kwenye safari ya Ukristo tutakuletea shuhuda za Wakristo mbalimbali, kwani unayopitia wamepitia na wengine.
So ndo nikaokoka. Date 2 April 2016.
Yote 9-10 ni neno kutoka kwa wachungaji mbalimbali ili kukuimarisha kwenye safari ya Ukristo.
Jesus is the way, the truth and the life.
Bila shaka yote haya unayapata ndani ya 47 Sifa. Nami Liz Mutuku ndani ya TV47.
Peterson, tumefutwa wote.
Yawa, pia wewe?
Tumeachiliwa.
Si pia wewe unaweza anzisha biashara yako?
Na hii economy venye iko tough sana.
But not too tough for Mwananchi Credit.
Tutafanya aje?
Si niko na 5 good cars. We can get a quick logbook loan approved within 6 hours.
Nataka kuanzisha salon na spa. Hii haitatosa.
Si tuko na title deed spare. We can still get more money using them. Get a quick approval within 6 hours using your logbook or title deed. Do not get stuck. Call Mwananchi Credit today.
Si nilikwambia.
You are a big smart joke.
Mwananchi Credit, investor in people.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us. It's TV47 Breakfast. Remember, the hashtag is TV47 Breakfast on Facebook and on Twitter. The SMS line is 22047 Bilibili Sufuri Nesaba. We are looking at what's happening in the nation through the eye of the papers, and we have Dr. David Olesenkog, who is a nominated member of parliament and who's also the chair for PWDs. Thank you very much. We still have Ben Ngetich, who is a political analyst, and we have Peter Njamba Yameru. Karibu sana. It's been a long time. Let us first receive a call from Nyamira and hear what the viewer has to say. Hello, TV47. Well, we have lost that viewer. Remember, you can call in live. The phone call number is at the bottom of your screen. And also, I will be reading your SMSs on 22047. All right, but before we look at what you are saying, Eldoret BBI meetings called off, says Togos, and fear of violence and a push for President Uhuru Kenyatta to join in and attend the BBI rallies has now led to the rallies that were organized in Eldoret and Nakuru to be called off. One member of parliament for Belgood, Nelson Koech, actually said BBI was born in Bournemouth, it crawled in Kisii, stood in Kakamega, walked in Kitui, knocked down in Narok, and buried in Meru. Daktari, my only concern in the beginning was building bridges initiative and violence. Isn't this ironical?
It is totally ironical. And you know, building bridges initiative was actually a very good idea conceived by our president so that we can bring Kenyans together through a conversation of what have been ailing the country. But then it was hijacked by people with political interests who are aligning themselves for 2022. And that is why you hear them pronouncing some demonic incarnation. You know, when you start talking about reggae, you know, yani, you have gone around the country, you have not found any Christian song or any Muslim song. You have not found any patriotic song like Tushangilie Kenya. If you have decided on a cult called Rastafarians who worship idols in the name of Haile Selassie, sakramenti yao ni banki, wakati sakramenti yetu ni damu na body of Jesus Christ. So it was actually hijacked. And you know, I want to warn Kenyans, when you are being told to say words that you don't understand, you don't know the meaning. Sometimes it is incarnation.
Someone would say, before you conclusively say that it's an incarnation, that those are political statements, like we had bedroom, somebody.
Let me tell you, bedroom you can translate into your mother tongue. Let me tell you, when we said as Jubilee, tuko pamoja, as our slogan, it means you can translate to Kikalenjin, Kimikibagenge, Tuehamwe, Kititenebo, name any Kenyan language, including Luo. You can say one Kachachel, you know, name any language. Even the former president, Moi, Nyayo, you know, it is footsteps. It's something that you can translate into your mother tongue. But when people come up with some slogans that we cannot understand in this world, that we cannot translate, like TPPTLL. What is TPPTLL in your mother tongue? What is it? What is unbogable? What was it in mother tongue? You know, we may be recruiting Kenyans into a very dangerous demonic cult. You know, tell us what we can understand. Have a slogan that can be understood by Kenyans. Don't lead Kenyans into a cult. And that is why we are saying nobody can stop reggae, but God can stop reggae.
Are those not political statements? Let me hear from Njamba. Njamba, karibu sana into this conversation. I know this is a topic that is very close, a conversation that is close to your heart as a youth. Daktari says that, well, before we look at what's going on with the BBI right now, we look at the statements that are being thrown around. Somebody might look at it as political statements that are meant to woo followers into attending attending the meetings, right? What would you have to say about that? Let us first of all get to hear from Omondi from Nairobi. Hello, TV47. Hello, TV47.
Hello, hi, how are you?
Hi, Omondi, I'm fine. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Right.
Pongezi kwanza kwa mjadala ya leo. Yes, me I'm concerned as a taxi driver.
Right.
I sit in the board of DTF, the Digital Taxi Forum.
All right.
Digital Transport Forum. You find like that this plane jetted into this country, and you know, number one, the people at risk, the taxi people. Hello?
Yes. Go on.
You find people at risk, the taxi people.
All right.
Because you are carrying someone, you have to put a C, you have to roll the windows up. And you find when a fellow Kenyan has decided to rescue this country,
right,
it's being fired or it's being suspended.
Right.
Where are we as a country and as a common mwananchi?
Right.
Number two, an example in Kisumu. Kisumu, you find this online taxi they're operating.
Right.
And someone at KA is colliding with the normal people, frustrated young Kenyans at the airport. Whereas we as a common wananchi. So me, I'll request Mheshimiwa Sanko, please help us.
Right.
Najua uko na wananchi, and you always speak your mind.
Right.
Hii issue ya Kisumu pia tunaomba uangalie. Hii mambo ya digital taxi people kuarasiwa Kisumu, na mambo ya NIS, NYS, now airport collide ili washike watu wa taxi wadogo. Naomba utusaidie pia hapo. Asante sana.
Well, thank you very much, Omondi. Keep watching TV47 and do remember to call upon the youth to tune in right here. It's our agenda by us in a language we understand.
I'll assure Omondi that
yes.
I will have a bill on those issues that you have spoken.
All right.
Especially for the taxi drivers.
Yes. Who are being harassed.
That is an assurance I can give Omondi.
All right. Well, Omondi, I know you have heard that clearly, but there's something again before we proceed with the BVI, because I believe this is very important. Daktari, he has talked about, he's taken us a bit back to coronavirus and the fact that they are now interacting with these foreigners from the airport, and they think that this is risky. And it brings me back to the question, are we safe with the self-quarantine and without not so much awareness going on or conversations heightened? Because I think he was addressing you.
No, we are not. We are not safe at all as a country, and that's why I've given my own assurance to Omondi that whatever that he have spoken, including the safety of the taxi drivers, and all Kenyans generally, and that particular digital platform, will be a bill in Parliament within the next, let's say, 2 months. Because I have also to do some little of research. I have to involve researchers from Parliament. I have to involve lawyers, because I'm not a lawyer myself, so that we can come up with a bill that is suitable.
All right. Well, Jambo Yamiru, Daktari says these statements are risky statements spiritually. What do you have to say about that concerning the BBI?
I have to say this, and let me be very clear on this. The BBI process, the one we went to launch at Bomas, it was a very good document from the word go. And as Kenyans, we saw it as a good way, because initially it was a motive to unite the Kenyans. It was about inclusion of all Kenyans. But now it is very unfortunate. We have some political conmen who have hijacked the process of BBI. And they have instilled their own interest in that document. What do you mean when you say political conmen? I mean guys who have some political visions, but they are hiding behind the process of BBI. Whatever AGI and the committee sat down and brought to us at the Bomas of Kenya, it was a very good document. But now what we experience today, it is not as the document that it was. The second thing I would say this, because I'm a young person. The process of BBI and the BBI rallies, I don't think they have inclusion for the young people. Because now you can see like the one we had in Meru, and I'm very thankful that the people from Mount Kenya region, they stopped the reggae. That one is something I can comment about. And I would say this, that the process of BBI and the rallies of BBI, why can't we have a common youth from any part of the country, as opposed to them that are representing the issues of the youth? Because if you are telling me you are representing the issues of the youth and you're over 40 years, surely are we talking something sensible? You should pick a person, maybe between the age of where the block of a youth starts. up to where it ends. Pick a youth. Let the youth represent the issues of the BBI in those forums.
Were you there at Meru? I know.
Yeah.
When you say that people from Mount Kenya stopped reggae, what really happened?
I mean, what people did, they just expressed their hearts. That these things, whatever you're telling us.
No, in Jamba, you walked out with the Moses Kuria. Speak the truth. And there's truth
as Mheshimiwa says, we expressed our hearts and we opened up our mind and we walked away because we could not sit down and continue being oppressed by people and see we are being oppressed in this sense and we are pretending that we are okay. And even the 500 that people are being given, of which some people carteled in and we didn't receive the actual amount of money.
How much did you receive instead of 500?
It was 500, but that was not the intended amount of money. I'm not very sure, but I want to guess that was not the intended amount.
So masses were being paid to be ferried to the ground. You know, that was totally illegal because I am in Parliament. It is us who appropriate funds. We did not appropriate any funds in this country to be used to ferry people or to buy funds in political rallies. And you know what Mjambawa Meru is saying? What have BBI to do with Nikisema BBI, Semeni Baba? Which Baba? I only have two fathers.
Okay.
Heavenly father and my biological father.
Let's get to hear from Ngetich. Ngetich, fear of violence in the push for BBI and the conversation about the rhetoric that's pushing now BBI, that's spiritually risky according to Njamba Meru and Daktari. And who is stopping reggae? What do you have to say about this, BBI as it is right now?
First of all, Corazon, I'll say that I'm not a fan of reggae and I'm not subscribed to it. And then the BBI report was initially, when it was first launched at the Bomas of Kenya, it was a good report. We read it through the social platforms. But going forward, we saw the speeches at the Kisi rally. We saw the other one at Kakamega, the other one in Narok, and then recently in Garissa, and then on Meru. But if you look at the BPA report, most of the politicians, or some of the politicians, have used or have hijacked the BPI rallies to derive their motive or their political interest of 2022 succession. If you look at the way these rallies are being arranged or organized, even the speakers, you can see some people are being seen to be the less, or they cannot even speak, or they cannot even articulate the issues of the people. And you see, these are the leaders who are elected by the people. The likes of Kina Moses Kuria, you saw what happened in Kitui. You saw what happened to even the senator of Meru. He wasn't even given the seat to sit in the dais. So this thing is a scam, and we are not even going to accept it, because if you look at the speculation or the propaganda that is now that this coming weekend, they were supposed to be rallying in Nakuru. But what is in the newspapers is there is perceived to be there'll be temperatures and political. We've come far as a nation, and we are not going to accept to be taken back to the year 2007, 2008. We need to respect the Constitution, and we'll have we need to see the leaders coming together as proposed in the BPI, the issue of inclusivity. But what we are saying is divisiveness and politics.
Okay, Dr.
You know, I did not attend any of those BBI meetings because, first of all, my party leader and my boss must attend so that I will be there, together with the deputy party leader of Jubilee. They have never attended any. So I don't have any reason as a nominated member by Jubilee to attend any of those meetings. But I know there is a task force that was gazetted by my president. And that is why I went to the task force myself. Present issues of persons with disability and issues that affect Kenyans. I said, as the 6 million persons with disability in this country, we support fully BBI, 100%. We also do support expansion of the executive, so that we have an executive prime minister and 2 deputies, so that we have 5 positions in the apex of leadership, so that we can bring inclusion. And inclusion does not mean let Kablai. We have 44 tribes in this country. If we bring 5 tribes, we have excluded 39. So that will still be exclusion. And we want inclusion. So inclusion will mean let us bring the affirmative action groups who are women, youth, and person with disability. That is why our suggestion have been, if the president is a man, the deputy president is a woman, the prime minister position reserved for a person with disability. The deputy prime minister, 1, will be a youth. The deputy prime minister, 2, will be somebody from the marginalized communities, so that we can bring inclusion. We will also have to include, now you know who is qualified to be a prime minister and who is not. Now we have to include again that the age limit, so that when we talk of a youth, is somebody under 35 years of age, because that is our constitution. We also include the age limit for any politician in the BBI. Let us, if our civil servants are retiring at the age of 65, why not politicians? The politicians are also state officers. So let kila mtu afunge firago at the age of 65. They retire. Because medically, by the age of 70, you have reached what we call intellectual menopause, incapable of giving birth to any new idea. So why do you pretend that you can recycle octogenarians simply because they are politicians?
Someone said octogenarians are wise.
They are wise. We have them at home. They behave like children. Because that is age. Every organ in our body will degenerate as we age. At the age of 70, your kidneys are in problem, your heart is in problem, so is your brain.
Can we entirely ignore them, even as we call them?
We will not ignore them, and we have not ignored them as a country. That's why we have cash transfer to any person
politically and in leadership.
Years.
Politically and in leadership, saying, being that they have served the country for.
That is a political fund. Cash transfer to any person in Kenya at the age of 70 years and above. They are all under cash transfer. Whether you are Raila, whether you are who, even Mimi. When I reach 70 years, I'll enroll myself into cash transfer because imesemekana ni ya wazee ambao wamefikisha 70 years and above. Now, to Jamba Wamero, who was saying the issue of political conmanship. We don't have to use very harsh words on some people. Let us be a bit gentle. Because political conmanship, there may be some truth in it. Because there was somebody who raised funds using M-Pesa pay bill number 672 to raise funds to pay teachers who are striking. They never paid those teachers. Iyo pyramid scheme, iyo pesa ilienda wapi? There was also another conman who raised funds for a repeat election. They never went for the repeat election. You remember the pay bill number? 791, where was that fund? Ilienda wapi? So when Jambawa Meru is saying it's a bit harsh to say political conmanship, but if you have destroyed, you destroyed KANU, NDP, LDP, you have destroyed ODM, NASA, CORD,
No, Terry, again, I'm coming back to you because what is happening even right now is now it's become politics, and the question is, why are we depending as a country? Because I, as a citizen, might not be interested so much in the politics. Why do we only have one wing driving the BBI agenda, knowing very well that maybe they have politicized the whole thing? Why do we not have people like you who are thinking differently about the BBI drive this conversation in another direction? But before we get there, Njamba, Mary Wamboi is asking you that inclusivity and creating positions, as Daktari has mentioned, also means bigger wage bill. Is that necessary? Because now we're going to have Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Ministers, we're going to have the youth involved, as he has mentioned, and women and all. Is it not equivalent to a bigger wage bill?
It is. I first admit it is. But then, as a country, I think we're in a position whereby if you don't do this, for us as young people and the people with disabilities and those marginalized people, we might live in this country having not have a joy in a position of leadership in this country. So I think, okay, let us not consider the value on it, but on the upper side of it, it will benefit us as the people who are marginalized, the youths, as you have seen in the recent events. Now, because now I'm trying to assume we are used to the under constitution. Like now we have a CS, Zach Kenodia, who was just appointed the other day. I want to believe he's a young man. But you see now, if you are using the other constitution, I don't think we are in that slot in between the ministers. But now you see what has happened. It has given us an opportunity where we can have inclusivity in between.
All right. It looks like we're creating more job opportunities within government and public service. But do remember that you're watching us online as well, live streaming at TV47KE and on Twitter as well. You have the opportunity to call in live. The phone call line is also down there at the bottom of your screen. Mzee wa Busara unasema you're watching from Mombasa. Karibu sana. Do tell us what you think about this conversation. Fear of violence in the BBI report, or the push for the BBI report. Is that ironical as we speak? Ben Ngetich, another question that comes in right now, still there is the question of money, because there's a lot of money being used into this and it's becoming politicized. And Kenyans are taking their reflection back to what happened within the periods we had post-election violence in Kiambara, for instance. And with fear of violence being mentioned, areas that are very charged like Eldoret being mentioned within this conversation, is it a risky conversation? Does this not mean that a certain wing of representatives should drive this agenda deliberately towards another direction?
Corazon, it's untrue that Rift Valley is a high volatile area, because I think most of these people are just they are just naive, and they are trying to perceive that Rift Valley or even Nakuru, Eldoret is perceived to be the interest of. But I don't think so. Those statements were just malicious, and I want to say that we've seen so many leaders from Eldoret. They've come out, they've called the president, they've said that not again are we going back to the years of 2007, 2008, post-election violence. People have learned to live as family, as friends, harmoniously, because Eldoret town is a cosmopolitan area where we have all the tribes. The same case to Narok, Kericho. So the issues of perception that Eldoret or the Rift Valley is perceived to be the hotbed of violence is untrue. And I would like to condemn and say that Eldoret is just like Nairobi. Eldoret is just like Meru. All these leaders, they should have a chance and go to Eldoret and air their views.
Ben, we've had rallies in Kisii, Kakamega, Mombasa, Kitui, Narok, but we haven't had this happen. Fear of violence, or the rallies themselves being postponed. The one that's in Eldoret and the one that was being planned in Nakuru are the first ones to be postponed. Doesn't that mean something?
There's nothing. There's that. I've said, Corazon, those are just but malicious speculation, because recently I was in Eldoret, I was in Nakuru. People are saying we are waiting for this PPA report to come so that we can also articulate our views and our interest. But the cases of there'll be a lot of violence, there's nothing like that. It's just rumors, and those are rumor mongers that are just spewing the hate. And
okay, Dr. Ben says that it's rumors that there's no fear of violence. But again, the question I was asking you initially, if the wing that's currently driving the BBI agenda has politicized it to the extent that now we're using the terms we're using it up to now, what is preventing another wing of representatives to take up this agenda and push it towards a direction that would be helpful and beneficial truly to the citizens?
You know, the wing that I belong politically is a very peaceful wing. It's a wing that believes in Almighty God, and is a wing that believe in cohesion of this country and peace in this country. And that is why some of us have decided not to attend. Because if we do attend, and somebody like Ombando will wake up and say, nikisema baba sema, nikisema BBI sema baba. Alafu mimi niamke nikisema BBI sema Hasla ama sema Ruto. Alafu mwingine aamka aseme nikisema BBI sema wiper ama watermelon. Mwingine aseme nikisema BBI sema there are those guys who normally anyway what we are saying is that it will actually divide us, and that is why some of us have decided not to attend until we get clear signal from our party leader and deputy party leader. And the signal that we are waiting is for them to be able to attend this BBI. And the other issue is that people are going, people who hold no position of leadership in this country, who are in an amorphous kind of arrangement, and saying that there will be referendum in June You know, there is only one house that will appropriate funds, one arm of government, and that's Parliament. We have no budget for referendum. We have not set aside those funds. So anybody who is telling Kenyans that there will be a referendum in June, we have to read the budget in June. We have already done our supplementary budget. We have not set aside funds for referendum. We will again have our budget in June. If we approve then funds for referendum, it will be from June henceforth. That is around August and so on. So they will, you know, this issue of referendum, it may not be there. And according to me, this one is just a legislative framework, sometimes that require only Parliament to implement. Once you give this document wills to enter Parliament, because there must be, you must bring as a bill or as an act of Parliament, you must bring it in a way that it can be accepted in Parliament.
Right.
And there is a task force. That is why some of us have gone held back and went to the task force itself. I've gone to the task force myself as a representative of persons with disability. I've gone to the task force as a pastoralist who have been marginalized for the years that we had had independence. Yes, through session paper number 10 of 1965. I've gone to say that I'm totally not agreeing with that session paper number 10, and that equalization fund should be used to the intended 14 counties of equalization. You know now equalization fund was for drafters of constitution so that we can bring back, or we can actually cancel the session paper number 10 of 1965 so that the marginalized communities can get something to bring them back in terms of development, so that they can bring them to the same level as the 20% landmass of Kenya that the decision paper said that it is high potential areas. But now they have hijacked, they have said no, every constituency there is pockets of poverty, so the equalization fund should be divided by every constituency. And you know, equalization fund is for marginalization, not poverty. And poverty is very different from marginalization. So those are the views that we have taken to the task force, the gazetted task force. But hii ingine ya kukimbia hapa na pale, no. That one will divide Kenyans even further. And I just want to tell Kenyans, please see the signal from our head of state, our president, our party leader. If he will attend, all of us will be there.
All right. So if he will attend, then that means that maybe it will be less politicized?
It will be less politicized because if all sides are there, they are present.
The conversation is...
The conversation will change now to issues that are affecting Kenya. Not issues that you must subscribe, you must recite some connotation, baba.
All right. I know that I've been holding your calls, but now you're free to call as we come to the tail end of this conversation. I will be now receiving your call. So if you tried calling during that moment when you're talking, now try calling again and ask your questions to Mheshimiwa or to the panelists who are here. We're talking about the BBI and the fact that now there is fear of violence within the organization of the rallies and that were organized in Rift Valley. Hello, TV47. Hello, TV47.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm Nicholas Murezi.
Hello, Nicholas. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Right.
Yes, so sasa nataka kuchangia mambo ya leo.
Naam.
The BBI and the politics.
Naam.
And according to me, naweza sema ya kwamba it is true that BBI has been politicized.
No.
Yeah, that's why you see that some members or even some leaders are not allowed to participate in the BBI.
No.
And if they happen to participate, when they speak out their mind,
right,
they are sent out of the meeting. For example, the one that happened in Meru.
Right.
Kipchumba Murkomen
right.
was sent out after discussing or seeing the truth.
Right.
Yeah, so I think the truth must be seen about BBI.
Right.
If it is something that has been hidden, let them be open to us to realize what is it this in them. Because I remember when it was being started, we were told that it must reach us, the mwananchi wa kawaida, so that we can read it. But as for now...
Right.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
up to now sijaona BBI vile tuliambiwa inaprintiwa, tunapaswa kuiona huku nje. Mimi niko university hapa Laikipia. But sijaiona, tunahitaji kusoma tuone kama ndio the real yenye itatolewa after kuwa suspended ama nyingine.
All right. Thank you very much. Continue watching TV47 Breakfast. Yes.
Hello?
Yes. As you finish. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Continue watching TV47 Breakfast and to tell the other youth that this is where we get to air our views the way we can. Apostle Mark Vivian unasema you are with us. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, Daktari, I'm coming back to you to talk about one man, one vote, one shilling and exactly what it means, because many Kenyans have not really captured that properly. But before that, Njamba and Ben, I'd like to hear your view on this. You are young men, influential in the areas that you come from, and you can actually drive a different conversation from your capacity. I don't know if the call, we can receive that call. All right. I don't know if you can actually drive. You have the chance, the opportunity. I mean, in your position to drive this conversation in a different direction. You have mentioned that it is politically hijacked. Why have the youth who see this, the politicizing of the whole process, not taken a different direction with it to drive a beneficial agenda? You particularly as Nyamba.
For me, I would say this. I think the biggest problem we're having that has costed us as young people is simply because we have some few funny characters of young people who they are not genuine to us as young people. If today you call a meeting and you say, let us meet as young people, there is someone who come and say, that man want to achieve through us. But you are very genuine, you want to help them. But they will come up and say, and spoil the other people and tell them, that man want to achieve through us, so we don't have to go.
So is there hope that in your position you can actually drive the agenda among the youth?
There is hope, because I am doing it. And so I'm very determined I will do it. Irrespective of many forces that will be coming against me, I will still do it and push it to the best.
All right. I believe leadership is about conflict and being pushed, yeah?
Thank you, Corazon. I would say that I've always championed the interest of the youths in other forums. But you see, as Kevin has said, that most of the youths are not genuine per se, because most of the youths are, the main core or the main issue that the youths have become the voiceless, because you can be the voice of the voiceless, but most of the youths, in most of the cases, you find them, they are fighting, they are struggling with the issues of unemployment, the issues of self-esteem. So as far as or as much as we would like to bring the youths together, and then we make their views been listened to, but most of these youths are not even they do not even have the courage to come and speak. You see, most of the cases you find these youths when you organize for the forums, what they come from is that they'll come and think that maybe in this forum that they're coming to sit, instead of championing the interest or their proposals, what they're coming to seek for is maybe the handouts or what they'll be benefiting from the meeting.
So because of poverty. All right. Hello TV47, mimi ni mzee wa mtaa, anauliza pesa zao. Daktari, sijui kama huyu ni mmoja wa wazee ambao hawajapata pesa zao, sijui atasaidiwa vipi, lakini shukrani mzee wa mtaa. Daktari amekusikia vema sana. Daktari, as we come to the very tail end, sijui kama unajibu lake huyu. First of all, the two gentlemen have spoken about something very sensitive, that the youth are always going to want to be sorted out fast because of poverty. And then there's the issue of one man, one vote, one shilling. What does it really mean?
Let me tell you, to set matters straight, a country is defined by the population and boundaries. We don't say a country is a country because it have 50,000 residents or 50 million. We say a country is a country or a nation because of its boundary, meaning the landmass together with the population. And for a long time, we have used only one factor in distributing our resources and in electing our leaders. We have for a long time used population alone as a factor to determine distribution of resources and to determine election of our leaders. It is now high time as pastoralists. That is what I took as a pastoralist to the task force. That we use both the landmass and the population in determining and using it as a criteria for resource allocation and for electing our leaders. We, from the pastoralist communities, are saying 1 kilometer, 1 vote, 1 shilling. Or 1 acre, 1 vote, 1 shilling. But those with high population, yes, I know my friend here from Central Kenya, will say 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. But for us, it is 1 kilometer, 1 vote, 1 shilling. And we stand by that. And we will not be, that is our irreducible minimum. As for what my brother have said, the issue of wazee kutopapata pesa, it is a policy of the government. We have 30 billion for cash transfer for wazee, 70 years and above, all of them, for severely disabled persons, and for orphans and vulnerable children. So, hiyo ni yake, iko kwa sheria. But there was something that we did not really address very well on the issue of our Somali border and the issue of Al-Shabaab. You know, Safan, let us be progressive in our thinking. Let us think in a matter that we can secure our borders. Our KDF have not been able to secure our borders. Some of them are doing shanty businesses in Kisimayu. Yes, we have not, our police and security agencies have not been able to secure our border. I have a very good suggestion. Yes, let us have farmers from the interior, from central Kenya. Let us take them to the border of Somali. Let us have a 5-diameter kilometer stretch along our border with Somali. Yes, subdivide into farmland. Let us give each individual 20 acres of land, farmland, give them seedlings, give them 2 blankets, give them some foodstuff to maintain them, use the money that was intended to build the wall, to build infrastructure like road and water and distribution of water, and give them AK-47. And our borders will be secure. We know that the people from Central Kenya fought for independence. Na walikuwa na panga ya rust na mzungu alikuwa na bunduki, lakini walifukuza wazungu. Sasa hii Al-Shabaab inatusumbua nini?
Well, thank you very much, Daktari David Ole Sanko, nominated Member of Parliament and also Chair of PWD, the People Living
I retired honorably as a Chair, National Council for Persons with Disability. Currently, I'm just the Chair of East African Council for Persons with Disability. But for the National Council for Persons with Disability, I retired on 14th May 2017 when I went to climb Mount Kenya na nikaenda huko nikaeka bendera ya walemavu huko Mount Kenya because what Uhuru government have done for persons with disability is we are number 1 in Africa. We are number 15 in the world. So nikaamua wacha kwa sababu Mungu ametufikisha in the highest position, wacha niende niweke bendera ya walemavu huko Mount Kenya. And this is the only state corporation that have its flag next to that flag of Munyao in Mount Kenya, Lananapik. You see, any other state corporation ambao sio watu walemavu wanataka kutupita waenda waweke bendera yao kwa mawingu.
There's so many people who are talking actually related to you through the color of your suit and also through your position in that
just give me 5 minutes to say that.
10 seconds as we finish here.
Yes. First of all, is branding. You know, it is good to brand. A Moi brand using Rungu, Njomo Kenyatta brand using Fly Whiskey, and Ruto brand using the Cape. The son of Njomo does not have to brand because Kenyatta already is a brand. The son of Moi does not have to brand because Moi is already a brand. So mine is branding. And the other issue is the environment. I wear green because I want young men like the one we are with, together with you. Let us conserve our environment. Let us plant more trees so that we can go green. I also have the color of the flag because I'm a patriotic Kenyan. I'm the only student, real student of former President Moi. because Moi, his presidential flag was actually green. So and you know, Moi was a real patriot. During time of Moi, there used to be songs to Shangilia, Kenya, Taifa. There used to be flags in every shop. For me now, I'm a mobile closed shop with a flag on top of me, so that every Kenyan can be a patriot.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for doing a great job with your chairmanship, because even up to now, people still believe that, well, you did a good job there, right? And you probably are the chair. Thank you very much, Ben Ngetich. And Mjamba Wameru, I believe that the young people are lucky to have you, who are going to drive a different agenda and unpoliticize the BBI, if that will make a difference. Thank you very much for staying with us. This is the TV47 Breakfast Show. It's hashtag TV47Breakfast at TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on Twitter as well. Remember, the conversations go on online and even on our SMS line. Emmanuel Tirere is joining me, and we have our DJ all the way from Kisumu who's going to light it up for you this morning, because we understand that it is Wednesday, and I think they say it's ladies' night, right? So don't go too far. We're just about to light it up, and also we're bringing for you proper vibes that will make your morning different. My name is Corazon Stefan. Do it right here.
Kutoka maeneo mbalimbali nchini tunatamba,
na pia ni kuone ukiogelea kidogo tu.
Kuogelea,
tunasaka, tunazungumza.
I have ridden to school using my father's bicycle.
Ili mradi kukufahamisha wewe katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi.
Nina balance. Uzuri ni kwamba mke wangu pia anafanya kazi. Usinipite Mwokozi, unisikie.
Katika ari na ukakamavu tunawapata. Tunaangazia viongozi waliokuwepo na waliopo kutoka kaunti zote 47 pasi kubagua wala kuchagua. Ungana nami Elizabeth Mtuku kila siku ya Jumatano saa 2 kamili katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi.
Siasa ni sawa na usiku wa giza. Usiku uliojaa siri, hila na karata.
I'm not money.
Na nitajaribu.
Na inahitaji ujasiri kuupenya.
Tunapiga mdomo sana, lakini hakuna kitu kigeni.
Mimi wewe niambia nikatae kwenda kukamua ng'ombe maziwa yangu, nipeleke niende kwa Mombasa. No, wanakuja Mombasa ni wenye wanajiweza.
Wacha nicheke kwa sababu nafikiri kwa sababu ya hizo nguo wanavaa wanaona Wakenya wengine ni wajinga.
You cannot have your cake and eat it.
Na wakati wa Ruto kuumia kutokana na maoni sasa.
Baraza la siasa limejituma kutia mwangaza kwenye giza hili.
Ungana nami Salome Mwiruri kila Alhamisi saa 2 jioni.
With every new week comes new adventures, fresh expectations, and new stories to tell. Where others tell you stories as a youth, we will invite you to the table to critically debate.
We will continuously recycle the same kind of leaders and the same kind of bad leaders that we end up complaining about later if we do not adopt a value and issue-based political system in this country.
Well, of course, here on New Week, we're all about matters youth has...
Analyze developing stories and how they are likely to shape up in the new week.
I think youths in Kenya need to find themselves what they're good at.
Where are we in that trajectory as the youth right now? Are we starting where we are?
It's more than just a current affairs program.
of which I'm certain. For what is a
For half price, $30 million US. $30 million from me. What do you want?
Get on your knees! You have 3 seconds to comply. 1, 2,
3. She wanted me, bro.
Kila siku ya Jumapili tunakurausha, tunakuchangamsha kwa mziki unaokusisimua na kukukuza kiroho. Tunaangazia wasanii mbalimbali wanaochipuka ili mradi kukufahamisha wewe. Na pia kwenye safari ya Ukristo tutakuletea shuhuda za Wakristo mbalimbali, kwani unayopitia wamepitia na wengine.
Sondo nikaokoka. Date 2 April 2016.
Yote 9-10 ni neno kutoka kwa wachungaji mbalimbali ili kukuimarisha kwenye safari ya Ukristo.
Jesus is the way, the truth and the life.
Bila shaka yote haya unayapata ndani ya 47 Sifa. Nami Liz Mutuku ndani ya TV47.
Peterson, tumefutwa wote.
Yawa, pia wewe.
Tumeachiliwa.
Si pia wewe unaweza anzisha biashara yako.
Na hii economy venye iko tough sana.
But not too tough for Mwananchi Credit.
Tutafanya aje?
Si niko na 5 good cars. We can get a quick logbook loan approved within 6 hours.
Nataka kuanzisha salon na spa. Hii haitatosa.
Si tuko na title deed spare. We can still get more money using them. Get a quick approval within 6 hours using your logbook or title deed. Do not get stuck. Call Mwananchi Credit today. Si nilikuambia.
You are a big smart joke.
Mwananchi Credit. Investor in people.
Wiki hii kwenye sauti yetu.
Tunatoka kwa soko kufika kwa nyumba. Mwanzo unapima ile kiasi kama ni kilo 5. Unajua kilo 5 inafaa ili kwa hizo kama ito 15 liters, unaona?
Kwa Mwadime, hii sio kazi tu. Anawasaidia wana Kibra kuimarisha afya yao.
Sio aibu. Juu unafanya kazi, sasa utasikia aibu aje?
Yule anajiweza naona ni aibu. Lakini yule hajiwezi haoni kama ni aibu.
Mary Mwende anafanya kazi ya kuuza nguo za kuvaa ndani kama vile chupi hapa mtaani Kibra. Licha ya kuonekana kazi ya aibu, hakujali, ila alijua mchagua jembe sio mkulima. Sauti yetu kila Jumamosi saa 3:30 asubuhi.
Jamii imezungukwa na mambo mengi sana.
Karibu tena mtazamaji, unaendelea kutazama kipindi cha Jamii na Itikadi.
Kutoka kwenye ndoa za mapema,
kuolewa is an option,
mila na desturi,
kuna nguo ya hapa sitting room na kuna nguo ya chumbani,
dini.
Wengi walipitia kwa many boyfriends, many girlfriends. Na hiyo ni ukahaba.
Maisha ndani ya ndoa.
Huoni vile atetema, yeye ndio yuapika, ushavyomba kuwa, hapa tusemezane ukweli.
Mazingira.
Kama mimi niko na watoto na sisi kizani na ndugu yangu. Watoto wangu wakiwa kwa umri mchanga sana. Ninaweza kuwa protect kidogo.
Watu wangapi wanafanya kazi pamoja wakikutana ni maadui hawazungumzi. Siku 2-3 haya huyu ana mimba, kwa nini alipatwa na malaika?
Bila kusahau tamaduni.
Sauti za kinanyanya za masogora kufundwa ni sauti 21.
Ungana nami Fiona Kenga kila siku ya Ijumaa saa 12 jioni hadi saa 1 ndani ya kipindi unachokienzi, Jamii na Itikadi. Nikupe uhondo.
jukwaa linalowapa vijana nafasi ya kuchangia kwa mada inayowaathiri.
Vijana tukishikana, we can bring a revolution. Tunaweza geuza serikali sasa, lakini serikali yenyewe haiwezi kubali.
Tunazungumza kuhusu ajira, afya, uongozi, ukuzaji wa talanta pamoja na masuala ibuka katika jamii. Ni mazungumzo bora inayofungua mlango wa suluhisho kwa masuala tata miongoni mwa vijana. Ungana nami Paul Kirubi kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 12 hadi saa 1 jioni katika kipindi cha Vijana Mashinani. Wakati wetu ni sasa.
Welcome to Woodland Resort, carefully positioned in a tranquil environment to give guests an almost private stay with the advantage of being in a serene and spoiled surroundings. We have a tailored, bespoke and transparent travel itinerary that are personalized with individual guest preference. Our well-trained, warm and friendly service personnel attend to guests, offering them fresh traditional meals sourced locally and matched with our chef's culinary skills to ensure consistent and rushes feedback from our clients. Woodland Resort, for comfort and elegance. Located in the outskirts of Kitale town, Kitale Webuye Road, opposite St. Joseph's Boys Kitale.
Hi guys, my name is Valentine Anjuru. Every Monday to Friday, we go to shule, getting an education for a bright future. The nose, the trachea, and the lungs. Mimi hupenda kuogelea. Pia, it's time for me to have fun with my friends. Join us every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Kipindi cha watoto mashinani.
Siasa ni sawa na usiku wa giza. Usiku uliojaa siri, hila na karata.
Na nitajaribu.
Na inahitaji ujasiri kuupenya.
Tunapiga mdomo sana, lakini hakuna kitu kigeni.
Mimi wewe niambia nikatae kwenda kukamua ng'ombe maziwa yangu nipeleke niende kwa Mombasa. No, wanakuja Mombasa wenye wanajiweza.
Wacha nicheke kwa sababu nafikiri kwa sababu ya hizo nguo wanavaa wanaona Wakenya wengine ni wajinga.
You cannot have your cake and eat it.
Na wakati wa Ruto kuumia kutokana na maoni sasa.
Baraza la siasa limejituma kutia mwangaza kwenye giza hili.
Ungana nami Salome Mwiruri kila Alhamisi saa 2 jioni.
Alright, you're still watching TV47 Breakfast, and now we're bringing you breakfast vibes. Just before we go to Gumzo Mtandaoni, what's trending, and Sandra Dalcho is in the house.
Yeah,
Silverosa. You said Sandra Anyango.
Sandra Anyango Dacha. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele yangu?
Inua mkono uende juu. Naweza.
Ai, kwani. Sinzito. Physically fit. Yes, asante.
All right, I'm holding out briefly for Magdalene, who is actually on the way. But as we prepare, There is something that goes on in each and every culture. And sometimes it's bizarre, sometimes it's very unique. I don't know if you're ready for this. Lakini kiafrika kuna wakati mwingine watu wanaamua kupigana, you know? And people believe that kupigana actually it's a violent thing. But have you ever imagined when now people actually fight, wrestle for peace?
Nataka kwanza imagine mimi na
wewe naweza kukukanyaga.
Ngoja tuko katika miereka na yeye sasa hivi. I guess atanikanaga mpaka unasikia mam tulia mam kuna mtu ananiua.
Na nikukanyaga gani tunakanyagana? It depends.
Nikukanyaga gani?
Be specific please.
I believe fighting kukanyaga ya terrain na fighting ya terrain, that one is going to be different. But this one is happening in Juba and I want you to see the clip before we actually talk more about it. It's actually men who wrestle. And the wrestling is supposed to bring peace because, you know, Juba is really volatile.
Yeah.
Okay, take a look.
Kujala football team la final ya dang. Zokukulu ajoku tiende ko yirchen. Bila to ma masila to. Gre chol ma bola boy chinja to side ma bola boy gre chol chol. Gre oh chol ji yire chol yi. Tele ko blopi. Okay jero ko blopi. Hey, ya ji chunjo. Ya ji chunjo ma kaya jero tinyai. Ati chunjo ma kaya jero tibam. Tibamko. Hey. Okay jero tinyai. President. Ela dapat pakai rejol makan. Makan cara yuat rejol kumpul. Wala.
Bronsa the actress. Does that look like acting?
That is not acting. That is real life. Na mbona wanapaka vitu hivyo ndio? Ukipigwa ngumi si
summoning the spirits. The spirits of battle. Spirits of war.
Oh yeah. It means lazima umejipaka.
The spirits of war. It's an African thing.
Except kwa sababu hata kwetu tukienda jandoni there is something ukishamaliza wiki mbili kuna udongo wa aina ya white lazima ujipake.
Kwa nini?
Ndio wakati unatoka nje na ngozi, kuna ngozi fulani tunavaa. Ukitoka nje na ngozi mamako hawezi kutambua sura ajue ni nani, huyu ni mtoto wangu, kwa sababu lazima mpite barabarani. So mkipita barabarani hakuna anayejua yule ni mtoto wangu.
Labda hapo pia wafai kutambulika, you know, but when I remember the River and the Source by Margaret Ogola, Owor Kembo, the character, yes, the character that was going to marry the beautiful woman, he came and he had war marks on him. So maybe it's an African thing.
Yeah, it's an African thing.
Lakini kitu yenye najiuliza Sandra and Terere, how will fighting bring peace? You know, I mean, how is fighting entertainment?
Maybe ni kufundishana tu adabu kidogo.
Alafu ule mwingine ni kama ukishapigana na huyu unajua kwamba haitakuwa nzuri. The outcome itself inaonyesha kwamba hii itakuwa mbaya. So ndio maana itakubidi uhepe usipigane.
Mimi naona ni kama kufight inaleta heshima. Watu waheshimiane.
Adabu kidogo.
Kidogo tu.
And the outcome of all right. And then again, so because today is Wednesday, we normally have this as a Fitness Wednesday. Before you actually get to Fitness Wednesday, though, you're going to have a little vibe from the internet. But salsa dance. I have no idea what you guys think about salsa.
I tried ku dance kumoja. Nikaambiwa yangu inakaa mwitu.
Salsa mwitu.
Na mbona sijawahi ona.
Ndego sijui kama utatupatia kamera tuone hiyo salsa mwitu.
Na mbona sijawahi ona plus size waki why spend you baguzi?
No, because maybe you know itakuwa slow motion. I mean,
my friend. No, my friend.
No, I mean, how fast can you move all that weight to the left
like this
without falling? Alafu una imagine salsa, they normally do it with like 4, 5, 6 inches of heel so that you
kuna weight yetu ya 6 inches. Tutafanya na tutapambana nayo.
Iko na nguvu.
Iko na nguvu inaweza nini hii weight yote. Kwani salsa ni nini?
There's a nice question wakati wa gumzo ngoja.
Gumzo mtandaoni yaja. Tuliza na hiyo. But Angola actually has embraced salsa dance and it is it's now a form of communication and getting into the community and bringing the community together. Take a look.
A very good morning. Thank you, Corazon, for the salsa video.
The vibes.
Prosa umesema iti
na wage kwenye wage unajua nyinyi mko na hizo nini zenyu hizi. Sisi kwenye wage tuko sasa inakuwa hivi.
You're vibrating, you're not dancing. No.
Unajua
kusongesha kitu
sasa na wewe.
Nimegundua effect yake akifanya hivi inamsongesha manda.
Ananisongesha nataka kuniangusha.
But I have a question before to end the vibe. Unaona nasema?
Sil process.
Ukimvalisha nguo ya black na ende kwa shamba ya mahindi na iname anatoa maragwe, mtoto ataambiwa na mama yake enda urudishe ng'ombe.
Kwa hivyo in short unaniita ng'ombe?
No.
Si support.
My friend, leo nitaua mtu.
Nimekupa.
Usinishike. Nishike. We, chungana na mimi kabisa.
But apparently if umvalisha tena nguo ya green, man tutakuja kutoa do. M-Pesa unaweza andika na.
Oh my God.
Can you remember those days wenye tulikuwa tunafanyanga hide and seek? Si ndio? Hide and seek kila wakati ungefanya hide and seek.
Bora zangu nicheka sana.
Ni mchongwano. Mbona sana? Mbona umsupport?
Ngoja nimalizane naye. Hide and seek tulikuwa tunamaliza hide and seek lazima uingie msituni ujifiche. Watoto wa huyu badala ya waende msituni wanakaa nyuma ya mama yao.
Vile wewe ulikaa nyuma yangu na ukoonekana.
Ndio.
My God, hiyo ndo mchongwano sasa. If you guys never did mchongwano, no, this is mchongwano. Sijui kama kuna rebuttal lakini magna endelea.
Corazon anachekanga mpaka anakufa.
Huyu ana faint. Ana faintingi kicheko. Anyway.
Ngoja kuna statement Maria alisema. Unataka kushtuka ndio kula kufa.
Haya, Magda by the enda Shagari.
Kumekuwa na history ya racism between Kenyans and the Chinese residents. And we have a video to show that. Wakenya wenyewe. Na ni watu wa Nduthi.
Watu wa Nduthi.
Unajua watu wa Nduthi.
Watu wa Penga Piko. Tunaita Apiko.
There's a word also ndauliza kutoka kwenu. Mbona nyinyi mwezi sema manyeng like
wewe tuone video kwanza.
Si mangeng.
Si usema mangeng pole.
Video.
Your corona.
All right.
Really
this is sad. This is very sad. It's not something that we can smile about.
You can't bring South Africa to Kenya. You know,
yes.
Xenophobia normally tunasikizanga na watu wetu tunasema that tusifukuzu kutoka the other country kwa sababu unafanya biashara yako unaendelea vizuri. It's just because it's so unfortunate kwao ndio ilipatikana virusi. But it doesn't mean lazima tuwatreat vibaya.
It's true. It's true because if the ball was thrown on our side and there are Kenyans in China, I don't think that would have happened, honestly.
It actually looks like right now we are thinking that small eyes and the way the Chinese look, because right now, even if it was somebody from another Asian country that has the same, physical features, we would look at that and think that that is coronavirus. And it's terrible. It's si kitu poa na vile tulikuwa na discussion about this earlier on. We are not at risk as such because people who are in charge actually are not stupid as well. So I think Kenyans labda watulie tu.
Tutulie tu. Juzi hata tumepanda lift na Chinese mwingine. Hapa Isili tu. Uko sawa?
Uko
sawa? Okay. Niko sawa. Niko sawa. Hug mpaka. Kwani kuna shida gani? Haimaanishi kama ni
hot content. How did you start hugging? Hata shida si kuhug. Mbona mlianza kuhug kwa lift?
Ni kama alikuwa analeta sign.
Kwani mlikuwa na sekunde ngapi kwa hiyo lift?
Kwenda mpaka 8th floor.
Anything can happen kwa lift.
Anything, please.
I love all those. Unaingia kwa lift and then una realize harufu si mzuri and then unaanza kuangaliana ni wewe. Na yeye pia anafikiria ni wewe. Hiyo harufu haiendi fiti. So hiyo kuhug pia si mbaya kwa lift. Chochote kinaweza fanyika.
8th floor. How many minutes does it take to come from ground floor to 8th floor?
No, how many minutes does it take?
Sidhani inaweza take 1 minute.
I think it's just 2 minutes.
Kuhug ina take sekunde ngapi?
But I have a question. How many minutes does it take for one to kiss?
Yeah.
Si unaweza kiss kwa lift na umeteremka.
You guys looked at each other and you're like, yeah, I like you.
But
I like you.
The main point ni kwamba yeye aliona Chinese na kana it's normal. So don't change the fact that seti kwa sababu virus
to be honest, there has been that stigmatization that ukiona tu Chinese una feel this is one of the 239 people wenye walikuwa kwa ile aeroplane and you don't know if they had the virus. So I understand Kenyans reacting to this, but that is not the way to go.
It's the same way. It's the same way we feel bad when we go to other countries and they think we are poor and we live on trees because we are black.
Are you sure even in the 21st century there are people who's very
especially in Germany.
There's a statement Corazon amesema ya kuishi kwa miti. Unaona nikiweza ambiwa hivyo naweza fikiria kwanza babangu vile anaweza kuwa anaishi kwa miti.
I know, imagine your father living on.
Babangu anaishi kwa miti anaangukanga usiku akiota.
Racism is real, especially in some countries more than another. They actually think
Arabs sana pia.
Na tuchapa ushaenda huko by the way.
Sijaenda.
Unajua umesema hivyo.
Ni kuona tu. Kwenye mitandao.
Kwenye mitandao.
It's so annoying.
Sijui niseme ukweli, but I've had a friend who works in a certain country, Kiarabu, that unakuwa mistreated but una feel, man, I need to go back home. And you don't find a chance to come home.
And yet you will find people lining up.
Could fly.
Lining up. Ni kama wameenda kuvote.
Unajua si kupenda kwetu tena. Sasa saa hii kweli Kenya. Nyanya ni 40 moja. And you want to survive. What you do is
hama place unaishi nyanya si 40. Nyanya si 40. Kwani unaishi Lavi?
Mazi, thank you. Thank you.
No, unaishi Lavi.
Ndio.
Na nyanya saisha shuka.
Nyanya ilishuka.
But desperation also, Magdalene, because there's a lot of unemployment. In the papers today, there's actually a claim that even agriculture has reduced. So, like kila kitu yenye tunaweza tumia sisi kama Kenya kujikimu, it's gone down. So,
that's why we need to hustle. Make sure to hustle.
Where are you going to hustle?
At 8:30 p.m.
Oh my
today.
God, we are going to bill you for that. Breakfast show is billing hustle mashinani. You gotta pay.
No, you have to hustle. By the way, employment, yes, is very hard to get through. But still, you have to get out of your way.
All right.
You have to get out of your way.
I saw you kwa gari fulani town.
Uendesha gari. Unajua lile gari sasa hili kaanguka, Magdalene itakuwa ameanguka. Haya, Magdalene go on.
Hamjaniambia poa, but moving on swiftly. Anyway, so Kenyans pia tuko na hii tabia. Bedhe unajua Kenya tunakuanga tumerankiwa like one of the highest consuming countries. Okay. sijui nitaifresaje, kuna venye Kiingereza inanipotele.
Meaning we import a lot?
No, as in tunakunywanga pombe sana.
Oh my god, yeah. Hiyo kizungu ikusumbue.
Hiyo kizungu imepotea.
Hakuna kitu kama kukunywa pombe sana. Tunakunywa pombe. Hakuna sana. Ni kama
in short, consumption levels zetu za alcohol ziko juu zaidi kuliko
hiyo ya kukula sana imeingilia wapi?
Yake ni personal.
Ati wewe unapenda kukula. Kwani wewe unachukia kukula? People tell me that. Ati wewe unapenda kukula. Wewe unachukia?
Hakuna mtu.
Thank you.
Hakuna kukula sana na kunywa sana.
If it is kukula, it is kukula.
Tosha.
Simple. Anyway, Kenyans unaweza pata mse amekununulia pombe, lakini hawezi hadi kusaidia. Like
hata na 1k.
You can even unaweza hadi.
There's no day watakwambia buda tukae chini tuanze biashara. We can't begin a biashara but I can buy you alcohol. Unajua unaweza kutana na rafiki yako kumwambia buda mimi nimesota. Alafu anakuambia man tukunywe kwanza alafu tuongee hiyo do. Then akishakunywa umshakunywa unakuwa mjinga hata wewe unaenda home unasahau ulikuwa umeomba do.
Just don't drink.
But how do you stop that? Kwa sababu amekwambia tukunywe nitakupatia do. Ukishalewa umesahau.
Don't hang out with alcoholics. Sorry, I'm spoiling the party.
Alcoholics hiyo mimi kwa sababu karazana shaanza kitu nini? Black people will team up to buy alcohol but they will never team up to start businesses. Huyo ni Ghanaian president anatuambia hivyo. Hiyo ni
black.
Another shot fired.
Is he not black?
I thought he's
black.
I mean,
picture. He is.
Yeah, he is. He is by the way. He looks black. Maybe inside he's not.
Sister.
No one is black.
Thank you. Kila mtu ako pink
ndani.
No, I mean, if you decided to shoot black people, then maybe you know that you're not so black, you know. I mean,
but on a serious note, unaona hiyo kitu ya alcohol tuna hatuwezi kaa chini tuseme man we need to begin a business, but at the end of the day tunaweza enda spree. Tukunywe kabisa alafu baadaye tutoke kama tumesota. Yule jamaa wa club ndio ametajirika. So at the end of the day utapata kwamba si hata tunatafuta kazi. The only thing we can do ni kufuata Chinese kuambia kwamba uko na corona. That is the only thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's true.
But after hanging out with sober people and staying sober, I don't think anyone would want to hang out with alcoholics. Sorry.
I spoiled the party again.
Sister Mary,
she's fired.
Atoke,
please.
Sorry,
please.
I'm in a strange place.
Lakini honestly kuna kuserereka na pia kuna kufikiria kuhusu business, because obviously at the end of the day tutapata aje pesa ya kurudi kuserereka tena.
Exactly.
Lazima tu invest. So Kenyans tunafaa kufikiria. Mimi nikiwa bishtia Terer, nikiwa bishtia Corazon, nikiwa bishtia.
Unajua at the end of the day
lazima tuanze to if you have ever sat down with your friend for more than 2 months na hajai kuongelesha kuhusu business.
But you know
kuhusu business.
Unaweza kuwa unaniongelesha
kuhusu bettering your lives.
Sema bettering your lives, but
kwa sababu business bwana ukifikiria Kenya itakuja kutukua tax, unasota tena unapata depression unaenda kulewa. So you see
wewe nawe
unarudi
he has hate in his heart.
Kama inakuja kukutax unasota
unaenda kulewa tena.
Really?
You're back to alcohol.
Unaona? So lazima hivi tu ya business wachana nayo, ungeenda na marafiki fungueni chama. Hiyo leteni 1000 pound na 1000
itatoka wapi kama mfanye hivyo?
Chapo na depression umepelekea mse wa alcohol.
Danganya baba yako. Danganya baba yako unamwambia nyumba ilifunguka.
Na kama una baba,
kama una baba.
Una rafiki, danganya rafiki umwambie nyumba naishi rentals roof ilitoka wanataka msumari.
Lakini kuna
wa kutumia pesa ya msumari.
Not everyone.
Not
everyone actually can be convinced to do chama or to do business. Some people just like eating and drinking. The same way that I was saying, I mean
like
people just like
hamkangi tu chini mnaanza kufikiria venye future zenyu zitakuwa bright.
Tunafikiriaga tu sasa tukae chini hivi tuanze kufikiria future yetu.
Ndio.
Tunafikiria future yangu kwa nyumba yangu.
Ndio.
Wena malo
unaanza kufikiria vile future.
Hakuna venye sasa nikikuja
sasa tuache kukula ama kukunywa tuanze kufikiria future really.
Si tutakunywa tukikula tukifikiria future.
But let me tell you one thing with you trying to say ni kwamba hii kufikiria future za zingine unaweza fikiria but inakaa fantasy kwa sababu hakuna reality.
Hakuna reality. Kwanza na Kenya yetu ya saa hii.
Please,
if you are eating, let's eat. If you are drinking, let's drink. Don't think about your future in your house.
Peke yako.
Ama zile uko peke yako.
Unaanza kufikiri.
But you're definitely going to be in your house drunk because when you are out I mean, ulikuwa umeenda kukunywa, so when you're in your house alone, you're not sober.
But asubuhi utakuwa tu sober. Chana yote you just think about your life, your future. Please, let's drink, let's eat.
Oh my God. Maybe should
remove this from
Kenya hataisaidia. Kama hii ndio mindset yao.
Kufikiria kununua gari pesa iko wapi?
Where is that money?
Hataisaidiana kama everyone has lost hope.
I want that man mwenye aliandika hiyo kitu reverse. Rudisha, isaidii. Tutaenda tu kukunywa.
Back to sender.
Utatuenda tukunywe kwa nini? Rafiki yangu amejitokeza ameniambia buda na kununulia pombe. Si ndio ununue ni pesa yako tukunywe. Kazi yangu ni kupeleka kwa tumbo, mdomo ndio yeye nimefungua. Shida yako ni nini? Unakataza mtu akununulie pombe, nunua kunywa.
We can't sit down together and think about our futures.
No.
Haitaingia. Hamwezi kuwa mnakula na mnafikiria
unafikiria nini about your future saa hizo? Unamwambia in the next 5 years nataka takuwa director wa Hollywood.
Si ndio?
Sasa ukishasema utakuwa unasema mara ngapi?
Una direction.
Utasema for how long? Utasema mara ngapi?
Sasa tunafanya hivi, unakuwa like tunafollow the next time tunameet unamuuliza what have you been doing towards your dream?
Let me ask you a question.
How can you support me in mine? Do you have a friend, a network?
How many years
niko na swali
with this Kenya of ours?
Nikubaya. Ameni sijui.
Tusipoinuana sasa nani atatuinua?
Most journalists ambao
tujiinue tu. Me think unafaa tu kujiinua. Usingoje mtu akuinue. Nani atakuinua?
Hakuna.
No, but you cannot take yourself to another level. You have to have people, network, support system. You have to, even if it's a business.
Lada pia haikuangi moja hivi. Lada inakuanga na 2 steps. Tumeshikiliwa na miti mbili. Kwa hivyo ukitaka kupanda,
Lada ikishikiliwa na miti mbili.
Anaanza kusema ushindi.
Mimi nikipanda sitavunjika. Kiona
Kwa hivyo mimi na Karazori.
Hiyo lada ni uongo. On the other side unakumbuka sijui but you have gone to class of chemistry. Every time mwalimu wa chemistry kwangu angeingia daro, mimi nimelala. Ninapata vitu zangu kwa ndani ya ndoto.
Kwanza nalia, wacha kufanya kwanza nalie. Please.
Go on.
So nimelala kwa chemistry. The same thing utakuja hata wewe kuniambia vile una dream yako unataka itimie. Sinaanza kulala kwa sababu unarudia kila siku eti nitakuwa direct, nataka kudirect nini? Si ukae na direction yako kwenu.
Mlinimaliza malilada ilivunjika.
Walishavunja hii lada lakini sawa tu, lakini even hivyo inaonekana hadi some of the Kenyan celebrities but this is hatujaisikia drama yako.
Drama yangu? Haujaisikia drama yangu?
Wewe una watch TV gani?
Mimi na watch tu. Okay, mimi najua drama yake yenye yako kwa drama.
Yenye yako kwa drama. Ile drama nyingine.
Ile drama nyingine. Drama nyingine
ile ya shida ile.
Zile zingine
kama venye sasa Tanasha ameachwa.
Vitu zangu za mwanga chini ya maji.
Chini ya maji.
Sitaki nijue.
Okay. Unachukuliwa na kuachwa chini ya maji.
Unachukuliwa na kuachwa chini ya maji.
Ni tamu pia.
Ni tamu.
Lakini kuna zingine ziko tamu tu zikiwa hivi. Ikiwa na uchungu yake. Sasa zingine ziko tamu hivyo.
So Tanasha.
Lakini wote niwaambie, sasa Tanasha.
How sure are you that ameachwa? Because Diamond ilikuwa ongea leo saa 4.
There's supposed to be a press conference about that.
Ndio inashindwa.
Seriously.
Ni kama yes.
If you don't have money, you don't have a press conference.
So I don't know. And kuna mtu alikuwa anasema ati Tanasha break up na Diamond because Diamond alikataa waende hiyo USA tour yake. Ama ilikuwa Europe tour or something, I don't know.
It was in some Rwandese dancing with.
Wacha nikwambie mse ni kama anataka kuplant.
But of course ashamalizana na Kenya, ngoja. Ashamalizana na Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, anataka kwenda Rwanda, aende Zambia, Congo. Yes, bado.
No, Nigeria.
Hajafika. You know he has money. Hakuna pesa anaweza fanya kitu yote anataka.
He's the real chair of East African community.
I actually think that being a celebrity is not an easy thing.
It's not.
It comes with a lot of attention and challenges and little time to invest and put your heart and feet somewhere. So maybe what he has lacked hold on, this is my opinion. What he has lacked is a proper time and capacity to actually invest his heart and his attention in a family.
That's an
and these
excuse.
girls don't understand.
That's an excuse.
Because a woman wants attention. If he can't give it fully, she wants to go.
Another thing you should not forget, jamani Mwafrika lazima endeleze polygamy.
He hasn't said that.
Yake ni polygamy gani?
Because me wana kama ni kama
jaribu hapa kutufanya kama East African community hapa tafadhali. We don't want that.
Lakini ushenzi ambao unatokea ni vile madem pia hawezi resist. Diamond.
Wait.
Labda useme Tanasha, Hamisa, Zara hawakuweza ku.
Hold on guys. Let's do this.
Unadanganya vile za zingine unazota. Sasa ukiona Diamond kinatokea buda.
Kwa sababu ninamuona juu ya pesa.
Sasa kusota na Diamond.
Unataka nini? Unajua baadaye atakuacha. So unajua vizuri, najua wewe ni hustler, lakini ukisota unajua
Tanasha ni hustler.
Lakini anajua vizuri sana huyu mimi ni hustler, huyu akuje miezi miwili najua Diamond ni wa kuachana. So akishaniacha na niacha na kitu.
Hold on just 1 second. When Diamond was with Wema, Wema was his heartbeat. You know.
Exactly.
Yes, it was a beautiful thing. Yeah. When Diamond started being with Zari, it looked like a beautiful real thing. He actually loved her. Yeah, it looked when Diamond was with Tanasha, in my own judgment, it looked like he was in. So ni kama tu ameshindwa. Kuna watu tu wanakuanga na mashetani wao ushindwa tu. Could be true.
Diamond aubea.
There has been celebrities who have been together.
Like who?
Kendrick Lamar.
Wahoo Lemless. They've had issues too.
Yeah, but they have issues. But there's no marriage. Kujaipata Wahoo ameenda Tanzania na katafuta kasichana.
How many international shows does Nameless go for?
We don't get much about that.
I know.
But we don't get much about that.
But seriously, I actually think that Diamond is too busy and he's everywhere. I don't think he has time to invest in a relationship.
But busy also is true.
Lakini mbona sasa aingiza mamake na sister zake kwa relationship?
Because he's in love with them.
In love with boy.
Mama's boy. No, but he loves them. It just doesn't work, but anawapenda.
I have a question for you. Unajua vile unakuja hapa kwani unatafuta Diamond moja kwanza. Diamond unamlipa ngapi? Ngoja yangu ni hivi. One, the next question ni kwamba wewe ukijua boy wako anapenda mama yake, utakaa na yeye?
Utakaa na me I can't, by the way. Mama's boy. I once dated mama's boy. Ati mimi kitu mama yangu amesema siwezi pita. Nikamuuliza, sasa mama yako tuseme kwa disrespectful to me. Nikikuambia utati mimi mama yangu usiguzane na mama. What is that? You have to choose between your woman and your mom.
Sindio?
Please.
I am also thinking that maybe Diamond just loves his mother. He may not be a mama's boy. Just listen. He probably is. Maybe, right? I'm only thinking that Diamond probably thinks every time he's in a relationship that this is the last time. So he introduces them.
Jamaa mwenye anapenda mama yake na msikiza mama yake. Kama unapenda mama yako, unamsikiza mama yako na wewe ni jamaa, wacha umama.
Hata anakuanga na mama. Anakuanga na mama yake saa ngapi Diamond? Anakuanga kila mahali.
But you know whenever you listen to your mom a lot, hata thinking yako inaanga chini kama mwanaume.
Ni kweli. So hata mimi kama bibi yako ama girlfriend yako
utanisikiza. Sasa kusikiza mama yako
utanisikiza.
Utakuwa controlled. Mamako akaweza sema tu labda mamake alitaja tu kitu kidogo tu Tanasha.
Corazon, you seem to be defending Corazon ana defend Diamond sana. But
imagine by the way.
Diamond ni bwanako na uletewi kiatu vile unataka kusana pelekea mama yake. And then kesho unataka food, watoto wanataka kwenda shule lakini Diamond anashughuli kusana pelekea mama yako. How do you feel? How will you feel?
Utafilaje Corazon? Alafu usikie tena au ma sisters zake wanaolewa kama third and fourth wives. Karma is a bitch.
No. Wao kuolewa kama third and fourth wife, labda hata wao wamependa watu wako na mabibi. Let me tell you guys.
Mbona siku ya kwanza ni kwa sababu ya venye bro yao anawafanyia. Anafanyia mamanzi wa East Africa. Venye anafanyia mamanzi wa East Africa. Where is the relationship? Hata tuwezi sema mamanzi wa Tanzania.
Where is the relationship?
Mamanzi wa East Africa.
Where is the relationship between Diamond's life and the sisters' lives? It's like
there is a family. Another thing you need to know, there is what we call generational curse. Generational curse yao.
Generational curse.
Number 5, 6, 7, 29.
What is wrong with kuolewa number 4, 5, 6?
That is a generational curse.
Mimi kama kuna shida ya kuolewa.
Polygamy is alright.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah.
Polygamy is alright.
Mbona number 1? Mbona wasikwe number 1 wife? Hata afadhali wakwe number 1 wives alafu wakwe divorced alafu sasa tuseme yenyewe hata wao wameshinda.
Divorce
it is even written in the Bible. A man can marry as many wives as possible as long as
which Bible?
As long as you can take care of them.
Which Bible?
Ni sawa closer.
Yes.
What has the Bible said about women being married as second?
Biblia anasoma mimi sijui lakini amesema
I don't know about that.
Jua tu kuhusu wanaume. Jua tu kuhusu wanaume.
Let me tell you people. I'm willing to be challenged. Hakuna place imeandikwa kwa Biblia that polygamy is not allowed.
Hakuna place.
Ni sawa.
And pia hakuna place imeandikwa kwa Biblia that a woman should not get married as second, third or fourth wife. Now it's not written. It's not. I'm up to be challenged. Show me the verse.
At the end of the day,
na bahati niliformat simu.
Ningekutolea Bible. Unaongea Biblia but Quran inawaruhusu. So at the end of the day,
ni sawa. Quran ni sawa.
Traditionally polygamy was fine. Christianity has not entirely condemned polygamy. It's all right. If you're a rib to someone who has another rib.
But at the end of the day, mtu mwenye anapenda mama yake mwanaume wacha ushenzi.
True story.
Wacha mama's boy hapana.
Acha mama. Mama's boy hatuwezani. Okay. That is very impossible.
Wewe unawezana?
Just go cook for him better than the mama.
Utazeeka ukijaribu. Utazeeka. Ni kweli.
I mean, there has to be some food you can cook that the mother eats.
Hata upike pizza na mamake hajawahi pika pizza.
No, I mean, you're not getting what I'm saying, so it's all right.
I understand. Mwasikia mtu akisema kitu kimoja kwamba man mbona usitoe bibi yako? Jamaa anakuambia nyinyi mjui.
Ni mimi najua.
Bibi yako.
Mimi
najua bibi.
So just cook for the
man. The only place that she is getting very well ni Mtandikano.
Mungu awasamehe.
Amen. Amina.
Right. Mungu awasamehe.
Magdalene, drive the car.
Anyway. So there's a meme that's going to be displayed on air kuhusu stories za ex wako. So ex wako wote wakiamua kukupea 2K. Utakuwa na pesa ngapi mtoto? Alafu tena hapo chini huyo msee ana reply anasema eti anatoa wapi pesa?
Au my ex wako wote wamesota bure. So the question is like ameuliza eti ex wako akupatia 2K utakuwa na shilingi ngapi? Anauliza.
Hiyo iko na two faces. Before now the reply unafaa kujiuliza how many do you have? Na utapata pesa ngapi? Unafaa kuhesabu 2K kama walikuwa 10 na tunaanza
na kama ni wengi msizi hesabu.
Sasa unaona hapo ushapata investment.
Round off. Piga round off.
Ushapata investment.
Round off ya
una round off. Alafu unajua ni biashara gani.
50K.
Anza biashara.
Hiyo
ni busy. Hiyo ni busy ya grocery.
By the way inaweza.
Hiyo inaweza grocery by the way.
Umeona tu grocery.
Hata
hawezi hadi sema ni pala.
Pesa haijafika.
But I guess there's one thing nyinyi mnasahau that men, I don't know if we have ex-girlfriends. What we do is because sasa ukijaribu kuhesabu kuna za zingine hii ya kusema hit and run.
Hiyo ni ex.
Umeenda.
Yes,
kuna fili.
You aren't emotionally invested.
Let me tell you.
Hiyo mlipatana tu Tanzania
unapita one time investment.
There's an African writer who actually says as much as the action happens outside the man, it happens inside the woman. So the fact that it has already happened inside somebody else, that is your ex.
That is a myth. Sasa sisi tunataka reality. Reality ni kwamba nilikupiga. Napiga mtandiko.
There's a relationship. Whether you want to say
it's a one night stand.
Yes, even if it's a 2-minute stand. It happened.
We can't.
It did not happen outside. Why Magdalene? It happens inside.
Yeah. Sijui mbona unashinda ukiinsist. It happens inside.
Because the system is tight.
No.
Magdalene is doing this. What the
hell? No, it doesn't happen inside. No. Hata kama ilikuwa dakika 2, I wasn't emotionally invested in that. 2 minutes.
But it happened inside. I'm also supporting her.
Yeah, it happened inside.
It juggled inside. The inside was inside.
Wait, your heart and your brain don't ask you, can we now click the relationship button? Can we undo the relationship? No. For as long as it's happening, it's happening. Whether your heart and your brain is involved or not, it's happening. You have how many exes?
Sasa na kama hujai muona tena. Bado
utamcount.
Hata huwezi kumbuka sura.
That's your ex.
Mbona uende na mtu huwezi kumbuka sura?
Ndio maana inaitwa one night stand. One night stand. Ilikuwa usiku tu ukaamua. Unahurumoka tu na hata.
But I know ladies, it depends on how it went. If I really the lady inserted a lot of fingers deeply your mgongo ujue, she will still see you as the ex.
Bro,
you're
PG rated. PG rated.
Mary, please take me out of this place. But anyway, you remember the example that Terrell gave in the beginning, that if Dasha wore a black dress and, you know...
Alafu iname kwa mahindi ya ng'ombe.
When you're talking about... you know, wait. Because when you say that it was just a one night thing and that it was dark, it feels like that is what happened, you know, like you didn't even see the person.
Ni kweli ulistukia
like it was just a body, a mask.
Ulistukia tu like ulikuwa tu tena unaserereka msee anakuja nyuma hivyo hivyo.
How did you know it was human?
Yeah, you know,
unaguza physical features.
Magdalene, if it's process that you said, Miss Wezi Sao, the only thing I'll know is I had a fence. I was dealing with a fence.
Oh my God, this is Chongo. I know. Anyway, Magdalene, PG as you said.
Siwesani na nyinyi. Lakini anyway, let me tell you guys. Hata hawa wanaume tukiongea kuhusu hii maneno ya one night stand, alcoholism, these men are also going through depression.
Yeah.
There was a tweet that King Kaka said. May I please have it on air? So suicide among males is 4 times higher than among females, and male death represents 79% of all suicides, yet only 5% of the men report depression. Stop telling men in your life to man up and tell them and help them open up. Mental illness does not make someone else less of a man.
Now, I guess it's
okay.
When it comes to this one, it really goes deep. I suffered from low self-esteem for 12 good years.
For?
I was 12 good years. And this one took me away from being able to talk. I was an introvert. I went into almost depression. But because I would see things not forthcoming the way I wanted. I really wanted to be the best student in high school, and then I wanted to score my A's at the university, but I could not because of the school fees. So I would feel bad inside me, and I developed low self-esteem. I was clever, you know. But then, sorry. So I would feel... So on a serious note, I would feel bad on the other side that I'm not going to make into school. And then you'll meet this person, tell them that I'm suffering from low self-esteem. They don't understand. You are dating and they want you to be perfect. At the end of the day, you will not, because you need to deal with your esteem, and then on the other side, you need to score, you make sure you're passing your examinations, and at the end of the day, you need to love this person. So you're going to suffer because, so the pressure on our side. Now, let me give you the beautiful context there. That for instance, if you're working somewhere, and then the salary that you're getting is not really coming for the way you want. Are you married? You have a kid. You have to pay the maid. You should make sure that you eat. At the end of the day, you will feel bad because they don't understand that you're not earning the best amount of money. You go through a lot. You try to explain to them that this is not coming because I don't have enough money. We are not, and they will not understand. But when you find a lady who will understand and say, man, I know you earning this amount of money, you're not getting this. Let me give you a hand. At least you're going. But what happens to that person who has someone who is not understanding?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're going to jump from the 7th floor and they die.
Yeah. I feel like tunafaa kuiga wazazi wetu. Because hata wao seti hawakuwa na pressure. It's just that the context is different. It's just that the women these days prefer human hair and our mothers.
Come on, wewe.
Oh, sorry. And you look like you're going to ask for a big amount of money because you want. By then you have nice shoes.
Your watch looks really nice.
But I know it's really expensive. Someone is depressed somewhere. Someone is depressed somewhere.
No. Magdalene is independent, self-sufficient. Okay. Go on, Mama. Go on.
Okay. You will not even get a chapati today for defending hakuna.
My point is, we should really tunafaa kuiga wazazi wetu because hata wao walikuwa na pressure. Una imagine hata si wazazi wetu, their parents, our grandparents. Wife
Number 4.
Total 38 babies.
Na they will still push.
Na bado atangangana na aweze kusupply. Hao watoto wataenda shule.
38 bado kuna mmoja ataenda kusukuma hospitali atoke tena, kuna last born ya 39 endelea.
Alafu kukwena ka last born ka mistake with mtu wa nje. Obviously wife number 5 sasa ule wa kumconsole akienda kuaga. Kwa sababu kulikuwa na kitu kama especially even in the Kikuyu community.
Yeah.
So what men should do is open up. Just open up.
But on us, let me tell you one thing. I know you don't understand this one. You people don't understand that men are born with ego. We cannot come out and say nimepigwa na bibi yangu. You cannot come out and say I'm broke and my wife do not understand. You cannot. It's really hard. You cannot tell someone that my wife is not giving me the conjugal rights. You don't. You will not. It's really hard. And even if you try to do that, tell the police that my wife is beating me, police wanakucheka. That is why up to date you'll find that people are killing themselves instead of coming out. But I don't know, the way I came out from low self-esteem after that 12 years is I really did one thing. I dropped relationships. If you see that relationship is killing you, drop it and survive alone first, become strong, and then go back to it.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think also we ladies are to be blamed partially at some point, because there are expectations that are naturally put on a man. When you have a family, 3 children, you want the children to be paid for school fee, you want the man to pay the rent, you want the man to dress the family, you want the man to do this. You know, all these expectations are put on the man. I think people should turn into loving human beings that we should be. Just rub his shoulders and rub his beard and look at him in the eyes and feed him and go out hustle as well.
That is poetry. That is poetry.
No, I'm serious. Well, like most of it sounds poetic. I'm serious. Do the little things when the man is in a hole, because he gets into a hole at some point.
You know,
massage his feet and wash them.
That should be.
And
I should do this for you, but sometimes it's not practical. It is not. More so in this Kenya we are in.
No, but it's very possible.
Actually, if a lady is in love with somebody, trust you me, I will notice terror. Hata kama uko na stress ya kiatu, I will know.
When you walk into the door,
and if I am ignorant, I will not give up.
I haven't had your point, but I want to. But before I give you that chance, I want to ask this thing: do you still believe that love exists?
Oh yes, because I am a loving human being.
It exists between you and your mother.
Love does not exist.
It exists.
There's no love.
Dacha.
There's no love.
So what is there between you and your mother?
Or other human beings?
Care.
Thank you.
Because we care about each other. If there was love, we wouldn't kill each other. Atungewana.
Wait, is there a point you feel something in your heart for someone, like you feel excited?
Care, my friend, care. There's nothing like love. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Hakuna nimekataa.
Ni Biblia.
Hakuna mahali.
Care.
There's no time you feel like you care
for you.
You care about one person more than another person. Like you care about your mother more, you care about your brother more, about this man more.
Care is like
a baby of
love. Care is like a baby of love.
Do you know that?
Yeah, because you care about people
because you love them.
Care is care.
Let me tell you, do you know why there is no love?
There's no love.
There is no love because we always find heartbreaks. Unapata mtu mwingine ameacha huyu na akumbuki tena. So what was it? It was bullshit.
Was it love?
Because let me tell you,
it was not love.
Obviously, because Siprosa, wacha nikwambie, it's all about you. Wewe ukiingia kwa relationship, unajua umeingia kwa relationship kufanya nini? Kwa hivyo kumaanisha kama huyo mtu alikuwa ameingia kwa relationship kukutumia, that's him. Don't think that there is no love. There is not love.
Listen,
because of
no, just listen. I don't think that we should say there is no kindness because there is hatred. We should say there is no light because there is darkness. When you love someone, you're not loving them because you want them to be yours forever. At some point, when they cannot be yours anymore, they feel like they want to be somewhere else. Love them enough to let them go. But that does not rub away or
but
take away the
bottom
that there is love.
Here,
there is love.
Say there's no love.
Bottom line, bottom line, what I'm trying to say right now, bottom line, men are more into depression because of pressure coming from ladies. Pressure coming from
and employment too.
And employment too.
And like pressure from life. Labda useme ladies, percentage yake ni 40%.
No.
Because he's also thinking of how to
make...
No, it is 40. because he's also thinking of how he's supposed to be successful, how he's supposed to
take care of the mom,
wealth, and amass wealth that is going to take care of 3 generations.
That
is not only the life.
I'm thinking if Terer thinks it's 70%, and because he's a man in this case, maybe he could be right. So maybe I am thinking, in my opinion, that because naturally as humans, we women are created to be loving by nature. Let us just transfer that love.
Let me tell you,
to the man we
there's
are
something
with.
that I know you support him, but I'm going to leave you here. Corazon, do you know one thing that I know? Ladies are not retaliating the same thing. They are into relationship because of different intentions. I'm into relationship because I know this guy is rich and I want to get rich with my family at home.
Thank you.
Another thing. Yes, definitely. I cannot be seeing Diamond, for instance, dating him, and I'm just giving that. And then later on, I don't get anything from it. I want to get something from it and leave you. Go, that's a lady. I don't know the way you're thinking, but I believe you bringing in depression to men.
My truth is that even in the traditional setup, before, and again I'm referring, who remembers Okonkwo? Yes. One of the things that was very clear is that a man had to be stable enough because he had a duty before he's given a woman, all right? We are in a different setup. I know. No, just hold on. We are in a different setup, and I believe that the weight cannot entirely be put on a man. But there is nothing wrong with a man finding a little level of stability before he welcomes a set of people into his life.
Yeah.
Just listen. But that does not mean that we entirely put the weight of responsibility on the man. And even if the man has taken the weight of the responsibility, I believe as a woman we have more love, a lot more love than criticism and condemnation. We need to just be loving. Rub their feet, rub their beards, feed them.
But you know, this starts this starts, I think what we should do is sisi tunafaa kuamua that if we give birth to sons, we should teach them from wakiwa wadogo hivi to start opening up. Let them have mentors, people that they know that you can trust your son with. That I know if I have a son, I can have Terer as a guardian.
Guardian, teaching him about self-esteem,
teaching him about things and ways of life, because at the end of the day, kila mtu siku hizi ni every man for himself.
Now, let me pick from there. I will go to school with Magdalene, for instance. We're the same university. We are done with schooling, and later on, I'm going to look for a job. She will stay at home, not look for any job. I will pile money.
That's insane.
I'm just listen to my statement before insanity comes in. Now, so I will have my money, and then after all this money, for instance, I will have to build a home, but she's still seated at home. You see, I'm just pick the picture. She's seated at home, and then later on, I'm going back to pick her na nimuoe. And we were in the same school, tumestruggle wote, tukamaliza, but yeye akaamua kwenda kukaa nitafute baadaye niende nimuoe. Who struggled?
Mbona unamuoa?
Nikuulize.
Because there's one. Sikia huyu.
Mbona sasa nikuulize Terer hata wewe?
But you know, ngoja nimalize story. Give me a chance to maliza this.
Alikuwa na kila hewa lakini amekaa home.
See, I'm trying to finish this.
Amekaa home mama anajaribu kutafuta job na
no, even if she's trying looking, she's trying to singoje if she
sawa basi.
Hata kama atatafuta hizi hela, atafuta fanye kazi yake, at the end of the day she's not going to build the house. You're going to build as a man. At the end of the day, I'm telling you,
she'll finish.
Wanawasikiza hata wanajitolea mahali.
Haki wananunua mpaka land. I personally have a friend mwenye land wamejengea ni yeye alinunua.
That is because of care. It's not because of love.
She took a loan. She took a loan and bought the land. And then the husband now started the foundation wanajenga sahi.
Or they had an agreement.
I don't know what kind of agreement they had, but I just know yeye mwenyewe alichoka na rent. Alichoka na rent, akaambia bwanake there's no way we are going to be to continue pay. Akanunua land. Bwana akaona land ishanunuliwa, akaanza kujenga. So don't marry lazy women.
No, I'm saying on a picture that don't think of you. Don't think of you people who have a chance.
Lazy?
No. Women are hardworking naturally because they feed children.
It's true.
They feed. So mwenye anataka kukaa nyumbani ataki hata kuuza mboga pale ama fruits ama chukue wholesale yake retail.
Asituweke jina
bring in the
mbaya.
context of these people who are lazy, ladies who are lazy. They're going to give burden also to these men and make them go into depression. But the biggest part of it, man, if you're facing depression, speak out. Tell someone that you're suffering from this. Look for a counselor, look for a mentor, and tell them that you're suffering, you need help. Tell a friend to tell a friend about what you know, and they're going to talk to you. And always, if you're facing a challenge, don't judge a friend who is suffering.
I think we should, very true. That's the point actually, because yes, Terer might open up to boys wake, but boys wake doesn't give us.
Oh yeah, no. Sorry for that.
Yeah,
your lip
doesn't give a tea. Because Terer anaweza kuja niambie mimi ni boys wake, and then Terer is opening up. Hey bro, my life is going hard. My wife doesn't understand what. And then mimi namwambia wewe si man up. Bro, simona mimi nimejaribu kufanya hii na hii na hii.
Acha Dacha naye sema yako yake ya mwisho.
And let me say this, I don't know if it's awkward, but if you're a man and you're holding a big position somewhere, help men.
People are selfish.
I don't know, help men. Jenga wanaume. Sasa upata mtu ni mkubwa, but then anachukua madame. Kindly saidia wanaume.
Help other men.
Mimi tunaweza sema watu waongee. Ukiwa na depression nini, ongea. Wacha watu kucheke, wafanye nini. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Naona wanawake to get out to fanya job, whatever it is yenye tunaweza fanya ndio to support the men, and then tuwapende. Mapenzi ni kitu muhimu sana.
Let us love. Let us have pure love.
Keni nini kwa kizungu? Kwa Kiswahili?
Kujali.
Tujaliane.
Atuwapende.
Uwezi
osha mguu ya mtu umpendi.
Na mimi najali, mpenda ni kitu gani?
I love your shoes, man.
Thank you.
Wow. Sasa venye sasa
You know why I love the shoes?
Ameficha yake.
You know why I love the shoes? I love the shoes because these shoes inavumilia uzito.
Akisiprosa, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. You have been a ball of energy and joy. Thank you for your opinions. Hata kama you do not believe in love, na hope unaweza chukua namba yako alafu nianze
cancel. Kuhusu love.
Si ndio?
Lakini wewe hujaniamepo. Umeniita ng'ombe. Umeniita M-Pesa.
Na ni msitu wa kujificha kwa watoto. Lakini mtoto anakimbia mama. Tunafanya hide and seek, mama nisimame nyuma yako.
Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in to What's Trending and Gumzo ya Leo. Thank you Farazan for joining us for this week, by the way. And Terer, asante sana, you've always been for your somebody. Yes. Anyway, that's a wrap for TV47 Breakfast. Let's go for a short commercial break. Bye!
Kila siku ya Jumapili tunakurausha, tunakuchangamsha kwa mziki unaokusisimua na kukukuza kiroho. Tunaangazia wasanii mbalimbali wanaochipuka ili mradi kukufahamisha wewe. Na pia kwenye safari ya Ukristo tutakuletea shuhuda za Wakristo mbalimbali, kwani unayopitia wamepitia na wengine.
So ndo nikaokoka. Date 2 April 2016.
Yote 9-10 ni neno kutoka kwa wachungaji mbalimbali ili kukuimarisha kwenye safari ya Ukristo.
Jesus is the way, the truth and the life.
Bila shaka yote haya unayapata ndani ya 47 Sifa. Nami Liz Mutuku ndani ya TV47.
Peterson, tumefutwa wote.
Yawa, pia wewe?
Tumeachiliwa.
Si pia wewe unaweza anzisha biashara yako?
Na hii economy venye iko tough sana.
But not too tough for Mwananchi Credit.
Tutafanya aje?
Si niko na 5 good cars. We can get a quick logbook loan approved within 6 hours.
Nataka kuanzisha salon na spa. Hii haitatosa.
Si tuko na title deeds pay. We can still get more money using them. Get a quick approval within 6 hours using your logbook or title deed. Do not get stuck. Call Mwananchi Credit today.
Si nilikwambia.
You are a big smart joke.
Mwananchi Credit. Investor in people.
Wiki hii kwenye sauti yetu.
Tunatoka kwa soko kufika kwa nyumba. Mwanzo unapima ile kiasi kama ni kilo 5. Unajua kilo 5 inafaa ije kwa hizo kama ito 15 liters, unaona?
Kwa Mwadime, hii sio kazi tu. Anawasaidia wana Kibra kuimarisha afya yao.
Sio aibu. Juu unafanya kazi, sasa utasikia aibu aje?
Yule anajiweza anaona ni aibu. Lakini yule hajiwezi haoni kama ni aibu.
Mary Mwende anafanya kazi ya kuuza nguo za kuvaa ndani kama vile chupi hapa mtaani Kibra. Licha ya kuonekana kazi ya aibu, hakujali, ila alijua mchagua jembe sio mkulima. Sauti yetu kila Jumamosi saa 3:30 asubuhi.
Kutoka maeneo mbalimbali nchini tunatamba,
na pia ni kuone ukiogelea kidogo tu.
Kuogelea? Tunasaka, tunazungumza.
I've ridden to school using my father's bicycle.
Ili mradi kukufahamisha wewe katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi.
Nina balance. Uzuri ni kwamba mke wangu pia anafanya kazi. Usinipite Mwokozi, unisikie.
Katika ari na ukakamavu tunawapata. Tunaangazia viongozi waliokuwepo na waliopo kutoka kaunti zote 47 pasi kubagua wala kuchagua. Ungana nami Elizabeth Mtuku kila siku ya Jumatano saa 2 kamili katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi.
Of which I'm certain for what is
for half price, $30 million US. $30 million from me. What do you want?
Get on your knees! You have 3 seconds to comply. 1, 2,
3. If you wanted me.
Jamii imezungukwa na mambo mengi sana.
Karibu tena mtazamaji, unaendelea kutazama kipindi cha Jamii na Itikadi.
Kutoka kwenye ndoa za mapema,
kuolewa is an option,
mila na desturi,
kuna nguo ya hapa sitting room na kuna nguo ya chumbani,
dini.
Wengi walipitia kwa many boyfriends, many girlfriends. Na hiyo ni ukahaba.
Maisha ndani ya ndoa.
Aoni vile atetema, yeye ndio yuapika, ushavyomba kuwa, hapa tusemezane ukweli.
Mazingira.
Kama mimi niko na watoto na sisi kizani na ndugu yangu. Watoto wangu wakiwa kwa umri mchanga sana. ninaweza kuwa protect kidogo.
Watu wangapi wanafanya kazi pamoja, wakikutana ni maadui, hawazungumzi. Siku 2-3 haya huyu ana mimba, kwa nini alipatwa na malaika?
Bila kusahau tamaduni.
Sauti za kinanyanya za masogora kufundwa ni sauti 21.
Ungana nami Fiona Kenga kila siku ya Ijumaa saa 12 jioni hadi saa 1 ndani ya kipindi unachokienzi, Jamii na Itikadi. Nikupe uhondo.
Oh yes.
Yes.
It's a beautiful morning, and indeed the Wednesday has been lit. As much as the DJ says, I just give him until 4 p.m. and I'm sure 4 p.m. will not be breakfast. It will be something else.
It's okay. It's okay. Still TV47.
Yeah, still TV47, so you can still stay here. But DJ Sydney says, hey guys, enjoying the conversation. In my opinion, I think relationship here, mom and son, is very different from that of a wife and a hubby. The only solution is to avoid much interaction between mom and the wife if hawapatani.
Now, one day I pronounced it Sirmi too, and he called me and said, that is not Sirmi, it's Sami.
Oh, it's Sami.
It is Sa, S-I-R. Fanya hivi Buddha, andika tu Sami.
Andika tu Sami, but... All right, and Sasia Frederick says, he's challenging me that a man shall have one wife. How many ribs were removed from a man during creation? Marriage started during creation.
It is one. Mbona uwe bibi wengi na ilitolewa moja?
So labda rib yako iligawanywa mara nyingi. I mean, maybe it was split. Okay. Maybe your rib was split into many different many pieces.
I guess on the other side, your fantasies, tuna imaginations. Tunajipatanga nazo.
Right. So once again, it's been a beautiful morning. Thank you so much. I'm sure that our time is up, Emmanuel Terrer. But the one thing that I have learned from the whole conversation is that men go through a lot and they don't tell anyone. And I believe that this is a conversation that we'll have. So stay right here with us on Friday as we have this conversation much more deeper. Talking about why men are the victims of suicide cases.
Depression and loss, you find someone jumping from 7th floor.
Yeah, and a young man in that case. You know?
You will realize that we are suffering as a country. But thank goodness if you have a girl who is supporting you, say thank you to the Lord, because at the end of the day, you're going to find someone to lean on. And if you're suffering, my dear friend, you're a man up or be brave enough and go to someone, talk to someone, tell them that you're suffering from this and that. And when someone comes to you also and tell you that they're suffering from depression, don't judge them.
Okay. Na nivo DJ amelala na muziki wetu, lakini usijali. Kesho ni Thursday, siku ya Alhamisi. We say it's an artist Thursday. We're going to be having a live band right here from Nisisi Band. So do stay here, do not go so far away, and lots of vibes for tomorrow breakfast show. This is a place that you find the language for the youth, you know, ni lugha yetu, ni agenda yetu, and it's a session for you. So do not go anywhere. Let us be meeting here each and every morning. My name is Corazon Sefan.
Jina langu ni Emmanuel Terred, lakini najua kwamba matukio nyanjani yatakuja baada ya hapa. Asante sana kwa kusalia nasi tangu tuanze hadi sasa tunahitimisha.
Welcome to Woodland Resort, where our key agenda is to provide comfort and elegance. We have spacious, well-appointed yet robust rooms designed to have a perfect view of the surrounding, offering a panoramic view of the countryside. It is family-friendly with a detailed lounge area, kitchenette, bathtubs, and modern showers to create the home away from home feeling. Woodland Resort for comfort and elegance. Located in the outskirts of Kitale town, Kitale Webuye Road, opposite St. Joseph's Boys